Welcome to The Downside. My name is Gianmarco Soresi. I'm here with Russell Daniels. Yeah, that's how you know it's getting real today on the pod. Bud number one. We are joined today, last minute fill-in.
Yeah.
You were on the list, just so you know. You were on the list.
You messaged me months ago.
And I'm excited to have you. But there was a brief moment where I was like, oh, maybe I don't have anything today.
Yeah.
And I got excited, but this is exciting too.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about you in a second, Tommy, but I had my show last night, The Silver Lining.
Yeah.
First one back since Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So
Your thing. You're so dramatic.
Ty's very, very. You're very. You're a complimentative person.
Yeah.
I told Tova. I said because you would. You know.
I've never met a straight man as dramatic as you in my entire. And because I'm a fan.
Thank you.
And I watch the clips and stuff like that. And I watch the clips and I go, I cannot believe he put his hand in his head like that.
he's a drama queen. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Here's how paranoid though, because Tommy's. Have you ever seen Tommy's work?
No.
It's very. I say youth. I think it's the bear, but they're making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have that.
But
it's my big one.
But I consider you're to me, and it's also partly because you look like you're 6. But like I consider you like the younger.
Problem. Yeah.
Like I consider you the younger. So I thought you were liking my things, or you were putting like king ironically.
No, dude, you're
like it was. That's why I told Tova. I said I think it's.
No, it's not ironic.
He's making fun of me. He's going like it's like
it's
recently
nice when people say
I
that.
shared a Matt Rife crowdwork picture thing, and I was like, the GOAT is back, and like
But it can go both ways.
Sure,
it's not ironic though.
Okay,
it's
well,
genuine.
Yeah.
Also, there's just if you're online but there's just layer of like where irony becomes like genuine. Like
Yes.
my boys will come in with an outfit, and I'll just be like, that's a sleigh, man. Like it's just a complete, and it's that started from a place of like, oh, we'll talk like women and gay people, and now me and my straight friends are like, I'm like, yes, mama,
Well,
like you look fantastic.
I have a friend once that.
So I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's beautiful. You started homophobic, and you came to learn that you're actually gay too.
I'm gay, yeah, exactly.
I had a friend once who thought when he was getting to know the Uncle Function guys,
Our sketch
from
team.
our sketch team, he thought we were like doing bits like when we were being nice and saying nice things. He's like, I've never seen a group of men like compliment each other like that and say nice things like that and it not be a joke. But
we are
really
down
mean
bad
too,
as
but
a gender. We are in a brutal place.
Yeah.
I'll comment on your post. I'm just like, go off.
Yeah.
Well, people, it was last
And
night.
it's great.
I mean, this is coming out September 10th.
Is that
9/11 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is that it's no longer a thing anymore?
No.
Wow.
No, it's celebrated.
No, but
I'm saying, like, it
how many
doesn't-
years in? We had a big one we hit like it's gonna be I guess we had
21st.
after 25.
Yeah.
I think we're
What are going to be the big ones? Like, do you think the 911th there will be like a bigger like
It's a party.
that's a
No, I think-
documentary.
the 911
how it actually happened.
I don't think there'll be a world to celebrate by then.
Yeah, there will already be more 9/11s
Yeah.
and other dates to memorize.
Because we're not talking about things that happened 911 years
well,
ago.
911 years, people are like, remember 9/11? People are gonna be like, no, but I know 26.
I know, yesterday. Never forget yesterday.
Yeah,
when Elon Musk closed the Mars spaceship doors and we all died.
God, he's still alive in 911
I
years.
think
you
so.
think?
Yeah.
I think he's
my
the
God.
first
he just,
one to
he
get
just
it.
started a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His podcast just has taken off in 900 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9/11.
Okay, your show.
So
I had a show last night.
this woman wrote me and she said, I've talked to your agency about maybe doing a corporate gig, but I'd love to bring like the boss to your show. It says it's sold out. Could we get in? And I go.
How corporate?
I don't know. I don't know
Like,
any
what kind of-
detail.
what kind of
I
money
don't
are we
know
talking
any
about? What are we
details.
talking here?
I don't know, but whatever it is, I need it right now.
Yeah.
I need it right now. And let's
Yeah.
just say a corporate, if they're talking to my agency and it's actually being entered, it's just good money.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some grands on the table.
Yeah.
And I go, they're going to come to Silver Lining. This is like the only, not the only place, but this is the place where I'm working on anything.
Yeah.
I'm working on anything.
That's how I feel about bad bar shows in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
I need that right now.
And
I
so
need that $15.
I say, okay. And I think I go, just, it's like my new material night. And she goes, no, yeah, no, I know. I'll bring them. And she gets there and says hi before the show, and I know I'm in trouble because you've been to Sesh Comedy Club.
Yeah.
First thing she asks for, she says, "Are there any cups here?" And I go, "Oh, honey, we're lucky. There's a roof here.
Yeah.
Like cups, you don't know what you're into right now."
Yeah.
And I say again, just so you know, if your boss is here, like.
Yeah.
I talk a lot of things. I know how to do it clean.
Yeah.
I know how to do it clean.
Yeah.
But there's something in me that I was like, I'm not gonna let this affect me. I'm not gonna let this change what I came here to do today.
Yeah.
And I think I made it worse.
Show that.
Yeah.
Show it.
I
show
think I
that
made it
to your
worse.
bank
The
account.
expectation.
The thing of like, I'm not, you know what?
Yeah.
Because
Because otherwise-
this place.
Yeah.
You would have just done you, which would have been fine.
Which would have been
and
fine.
Good is
Yeah.
all, and then, but now you have a thing.
And so within
your
the
head.
first minute, I go to a new bit I'm working on where I talk about how this woman wrote me, said, your dad tried to go on a date with me. I looked him up. I found you. I didn't go on a
that's
date, but
right,
now I'm
your
a fan of yours.
dad.
And then I go, and then the bit is I feel bad. My material's like, cock blocking my dad. So I wrote some new material to help his dating life.
Yeah.
And it starts, I go, I get out the pad, I go, my dad's cock is so big.
Yeah.
And I get the audience, so
Yeah.
how big is it?
Yeah.
And I do it again and again. And I do like 10, my dad's
Dick
cock
jokes,
is so
yeah.
big jokes. And I see this woman from the company in the corner of my eye, as if I just dick slapped her in the middle of this. Like I said, bring your boss, please.
Yeah.
And then the owner of the club said, yeah, I think I saw them walk out. And I was like, when? The beginning? Later? They had to
Yeah.
go? Early morning?
Yeah.
Or was it by the fourth, my dad's cock is so big?
Okay.
Joke.
What did she see online of yours that thought like
Yeah,
you
'cause
were
that's what
ever
you
gonna
do.
be? You know what I mean? You're not like Mr.
Maybe
Clean.
it was bleeped. Maybe she said, I thought he'd say eggplant because they saw the TikTok and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's her own fault.
don't
Also, were
know.
you going to open with that?
Listen, if-
regardless?
if I'm-
Where was your head at before?
Yeah.
I was, who knows? But I think something in me was like, I'm going, and I went straight from that to Israel, Palestine. Something in me was just like,
Yeah.
I mean, and how CEOs should be murdered on their front stoop.
Listen,
Yeah.
if I'm bringing my boss all the way to a comedy show, I would have done a little bit more. Like if
You go
they
for
were
it.
actually offended, then
Yeah.
that's her fault for not doing any research.
Yeah.
And maybe she wasn't. Maybe they just saw what they
And
want.
also,
maybe he saw right away.
dial it back. You can dial it back.
Yeah. Maybe he's like, that's my guy right
you
away.
need the gig.
This is the downside.
1, 2, 3. Downside. Downside.
You're listening to The Downside
The Downside.
with Gianmarco Soresi.
Only two of the my dad's cock are so big jokes work.
Oh, you did 10 though?
Yeah, I mean, but like, there's two that like that hit the level.
10 for every inch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And now I have to just like go home and just like walk with a cigarette and be like, my dad's cock is so big.
Mumbling.
The one I loved, it doesn't
so
work.
big.
My dad's cock is so big. When I was born, the doctor said I had my dad's baby arms. And you see, it's I
too
wanted
hard.
it's
I know what you're trying
it's
to
too
say.
hard, like my
Yeah.
dad's cock.
Yeah.
But it's
Such a thinker
but it's
for a dick
it's
joke.
So it's
Oh, my
I love,
head. Oh, I'm using
I
my
love
brain
a
so
doctor looking at a baby going like, oh, it's like your dad's cock's on both your shoulders. Like there's something. I'm the baby. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
a pedophile thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to The Downside. If you're a fan of the show, join the Patreon, patreon.com/downside. We're doing 2 Patreon episodes every month now in studio. Me and Russell, sometimes a friend. And follow us on TikTok. Follow us on TikTok at The Downside Pod.
Why TikTok exclusively?
Well, we're about to hit a threshold where we can monetize the videos and add
okay.
collabs.
Great. Wow.
So disregard Russell's pushing back on the following on TikTok.
No.
Or
He's been trying to
Instagram.
sabotage this podcast for years. As a fan of the clips, I'm going like, he's taking this down.
Yeah.
So we're here with Tommy Bayer, who ironically likes my tweets, and you may know him from there was a sketch that went very viral of the bear, where they're making PB&J sandwiches. I hate the bear. Let it go on the record. I don't like the bear. I was in an Uber once though, and the driver said he was like a professional. He said like I was a sous chef, and I said, oh, he brought up the bear, and I
was
said,
with you.
Oh, you're with me? Were we
Yeah,
together?
yeah.
And I said to him, I said, so what does the bear get like wrong about like cooking?
Yeah,
and
many
he,
things.
And he goes, nothing.
That's wrong.
It captures
He
it
said
perfectly.
nothing.
And I was like, I don't think that's true.
Like I've been to sandwich shops before and like good
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like there must be some days where it's like, okay, we're
I
at
hate
work,
the bear
it's
because I
fine.
go like, "What's your acting job?" You go to set and they go, "So this scene, you're chopping an onion, but you're stressed."
Yeah.
And so the actor has to
Oh
go.
God! Someone came into the restaurant
Yeah.
and ordered the food that I'm making at the restaurant. I have to make the food up. Fuck.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
I have to
you're
make
like
the,
every
someone
day-
came and ordered the food. I have to make
It's
it.
like
Fuck.
every day someone's telling them they have to do their job today, and they were like, "We do."
Yeah.
Like it really is like, yeah, man, you have to do your job every day.
Yeah, but here, as someone who has cooked and has worked in restaurants, every day you forget how shitty your job is. So
Yeah.
it's kind of more just like, oh my God, my job sucks, and that's
Sure.
what it is. You know,
Yeah.
When you so you're an excellent chef. You told me.
I'm a good cook.
Are you?
My little brother's a really good chef. My little brother's a Michelin star chef
Oh my god.
in the city. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he's very good.
Wow.
You guys should go to the restaurant. I'll
What
take you out to
restaurant?
his restaurant.
Oh my God! Please.
Family Meal Blue Hill.
Oh yeah, I know Blue Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he go at any point? Does he go? Enough comedy friends coming to the restaurant.
I don't bring in anybody I bring in like a date or like a good friend.
Oh shit!
And
Does your date ever want to fuck your brother instead?
No, I'm way cooler. Actually, he's cool. He's got tattoos and he's a piece of shit. He's like that. He's like that
He
type
is
of chef.
Big Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is. He
bear.
is. Yeah, he is Bear. Last name Bear.
Big Bear.
Yeah, I know.
I guess you already did the sketch. I mean, it was the peanut butter jelly sketch, but I like
Well,
the
that's
idea of
the-
the waiter where you're like, "Could I get a water?" And they're like, "Fuck."
Here's what's so funny about the show, and here's what the show gets wrong, and that's what it gets right, is that it's not that stressful.
Uh-huh.
It is stressful though, but it's funny. Working in a kitchen is stressful, and it's funny because it's food, and it will get made. It will go out. Take it easy.
That's
you
what I
know?
tell my
It's-
girlfriend every
dude,
time I go to dinner.
The first season of The Bear, they're making Italian sandwiches.
Yeah.
You know, I've worked in a sandwich place. It's so fucking easy.
Yeah.
Like, just make more.
Uh-huh.
We're not running out.
What's the most stressful? Was there any moment where you said, "Oh my God, I'm in the bear," and you're yelling at someone? It's chef. Yes, chef.
I've gotten into it with a chef before when I got out of cooking and I was bartending because I worked with like a kind of like an ego chef, and he was like really trying to go for like a Michelin star, and I put a plastic container in the dish pit and had a sticker on it, and he's flipping out on me, and I just go he's yelling, and I go you don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
I go shut up.
Really?
And he's freaking out more. I go shut your mouth. And he's like, yeah, and we're in the kitchen, and it's because he's up here, so I'm going like, shut the fuck up, like shut up.
You said shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut up. But he's back a house,
Yeah.
so he can't fire me, you know.
Yeah.
So then
Wait,
Oh.
but don't you think like
but he's just freaking out because he's at he's just on the line, and he was like drunk,
Oh.
you know, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, I said, I was like, you're done.
And did he respond at all? Did
He was pissed because he lets other people let him bully them.
yeah.
And I was like, no,
Okay, but that's the thing.
I'll kill you.
With chefs, I feel
I'll
like
fucking kill you, dude.
I feel
Shut
like
the
there's
fuck-
this thing where they are kind of famously temperamental and
Yeah.
dramatic like that. And then I feel like the bear, I'm like, I feel like someone sees that, people see that, and then they're like, that's how I can behave. Like there is a
Yeah.
thing where
My little
like,
brother- my
it
little-
like reinforces that kind
exactly.
of behavior.
And I hope that it gets pushed. I've seen it get pushed back in kitchens. Like we're not doing that.
Yeah.
That's like what we're not doing. Oh, because that's so glorified. We're gonna go like the opposite way. It's like if you see like a very offensive comedy special, you're like, fuck. I don't even want to do. If the next show I do, I don't even want people to think that I'm going for that. You know what I mean? But like my little brother's really sweet. He's like really.
You just said he was a piece of shit.
Yeah,
like
because
literally.
he's my little brother. But he's not. He never yells or he's not ego like that. He's
Sometimes you need to yell.
he'll get like he'll get a little like you'll be cooking and someone he'll go, well, why'd you do it like that?
Oh, honestly, I'd rather have a yell.
He'll go like and he goes, no, don't do it like that. And that's why it's like
My girlfriend's line, she goes, just explain to me what your thought process was.
Right.
So you want to be mad about 10 more things? You want to see every way I was an idiot?
Yeah. So he might do a little bit of that, but he's a goofball too. He's really silly. He's like me. So
talk to me about the Michelin star. Like, is it a corrupt bullshit system?
Yeah. Do you know how it started?
No.
And this is kind of like, this is a big podcast. I might be getting this wrong. So it came from Michelin Tires magazine. Okay.
Really?
So there's Michelin tires and
Where they sell tires, just
automobile bullshit,
Okay.
tires and automobiles
Okay,
and
great.
stuff. And you get the Michelin magazine.
We pulled up the thing right here.
Yeah, so you
great.
can kind of read it.
yeah, we're gonna fact check you.
Fact
as
check
we go.
me. Fact check me. If I can remember. So restaurants are like in America are kind of a new thing. Like in
Sure.
they've been in Paris forever, but like you talk to your parents, they didn't go out to eat that much.
Sure.
And like my family's from Chicago.
I refuse to talk to my
Okay.
parents, but you tell me.
Okay, but you're from East Coast. You're Jersey,
Maryland originally.
Maryland. Okay, so
Yeah,
not
yeah.
so much. So if you're in New York, if you're from New York, this doesn't go for you. But in the rest of the country, if in the 60s you would go out to eat like once every couple months, your family made meatloaf and bullshit food. Sushi didn't exist.
Sure.
And no one got sushi till 1996, and that was on the coast.
Yes.
Yeah, I was part of that wave.
That was
yeah.
Seattle.
My parents didn't hear of sushi until 2007. You know what I mean? Like
I don't think
right
my
before
parents have had sushi.
Really?
I don't.
Let's
think
go to
so.
Omakase
Yeah.
though.
like the housing crisis happened, and then like sushi happened. That's like all in the same year, and then like Obama was elected. Like that's
Yeah,
how like
sure.
recent like food is in America. So, but basically, like Michelin magazine would rate restaurants. Like if you want it, because it was like a travel guide.
Sure.
And because it was the only one that would rate at that time, it just became the first thing to rate, the first platform to rate a restaurant.
Yeah.
And then now it's just, I don't know, now it's the restaurant rating.
But
You know?
so
I mean, is that
to encourage drivers to take more trips
yeah.
and buy
Because
good
the highways,
meals and
because it was the
accommodations.
highway system in America was kind of built in like
It was
the
the early 1900s.
mid 50s. Like a lot of the highways were being constructed in the mid 50s. So we want people to travel around America.
So
we want
now-
people to go to Wisconsin Dells.
So
Yeah.
now when they do it, is it like they'll come by?
I'm like a
you have
fucking
to-
idiot, by the way. I like don't.
That's so are we. We're this is the safe space.
I'm not like a smart. I didn't go to college. I'm not like you know what I mean? So
We've done some episodes where we talked a long time. I said that Google Images was invented because of the Janet Jackson nipple slip.
You did say that.
And it was in fact because of J-Lo's dress at the
It's pretty fucking
Academy
close.
Awards.
That's close.
I did a joke last night about it was a terrible joke, but it was hinged on 9/11 being on a Monday.
It's a
And someone in
Tuesday.
the audience said Tuesday.
Oh my
and I said,
God.
what? And I looked it up and I was like, son of a
famously,
bitch.
Yeah.
it was a Tuesday.
I thought it was a Monday.
It's like one of the
I
only
thought
things
the
I know
terrorists
about
picked a
9/11.
Monday so
Dude.
they'd fuck up the whole week.
I was doing a set last night. I've been doing this joke for like a week where I just go like, how long do you guys think you could go in a roundabout before a cop's just like, hey, you can't fucking do that anymore, you know? And like I just play in that area, and that usually gets a laugh where I'm just like, before a cop's just like, hey, you gotta cut that out. And then one guy goes 4 times. And I go, yeah, logic defeated my fun
Yeah.
thought again. Fuck you, man. Suck my dick.
No one knows that though.
He goes 4 times.
So now though, when a Michelin star, do they come once a year? Do you have to apply? Hey, please come to my restaurant. If I start a new restaurant,
So Michelin stars are getting like within like the last like, because of Anthony Bourdain. So I want to say like the last 10 years, they've been like more cool and liberal. Like
he was into it. Anthony Bourdain liked Michelin stars.
Well,
Well,
he started like a culture of like a taco truck's really good.
Foodies and yeah.
Sure,
You
but
know,
like, was he a Michelin star writer?
I don't think he was ever involved. I mean, I
Okay.
don't.
I
I mean,
not,
he was a
he just started-
restaurateur. He's
yeah.
a chef. Yeah.
But he started
chef.
like cool food.
He had a
culture.
restaurant
I'm
or
not, yeah,
more in New
I'm not
York.
like a big Bourdain head, and also like I just know this from working in restaurant. I don't.
You know who really didn't like Bourdain?
Who?
Himself.
I loved Anthony Bourdain.
That's great, man.
I read there's a great
You don't know
book.
if he didn't like. He could have liked. He literally could have loved himself so much he hated everyone else. Do you know what I mean? Like being like, I gotta get out of here.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like that is an option too. Being like,
There's
you know.
this really great book. I have to plug this. I'm never going to plug a book in the show except for this. It's called Lemon.
Yeah.
And it's like loosely, it's very clearly about Bourdain, but it's basically like someone walks in and the chef that is clearly Bourdain in this example,
Yeah.
it was autoerotic asphyxiation,
Yeah.
but they have to spin it. So it's like it's about them spinning what happened to him as being a suicide, because if it was autoerotic asphyxiation, he's going to lose his legacy. And there's managers, and then there's someone who claims that they met Bourdain that day, but it was not true, and they become like, oh no, it's just a very
That sounds
cool
like the whole
book.
premise of the Robin Williams movie, World's Greatest Dad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, his son hangs himself accidentally from autoerotic asphyxiation, and the father's a teacher, and the son's universally hated. No one liked him. Terrible, mean, pervert, terrible to his dad. And the father, to help his legacy, writes a fake diary and gets it published. And it's like this from this depressed teenager, and the diary's famous. And then you see all the school, sorry, spoiler, all the school all of a sudden change all their narratives on who this kid was. And they're like, he was amazing. He was so great. And it's all bullshit.
I heard the quote, a man grows 6 feet in his grave. And I love that phrase.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Sorry, a lot of spoilers for both that book and movie.
Yeah, really disaster.
I'm gonna plug a book. Here's what happened. And I'm gonna plug a movie really quick. And here's basically what happened.
But now,
podcast is now about the movie.
at this point, like within the cooking world, I know you're not directly in it, but your brother, like, is it respected internally, or is it like, oh, who got a Michelin star? Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, of course,
that's the
dude.
crowdwork
It's
restaurant.
It's bullshit.
That's the TikTok restaurant or whatever.
Of course. Well, yeah, and also it's like you know, like identity optics play into it. You know, it's like this new chef is an immigrant and she came from nothing. From the like, fucking give her the star. You know, it's entertainment. It's like the same reason why you'd give someone a special. You want to give someone a star. It's mostly about money. And then they're like kind of like they do the thing like, yeah, we gave a taco truck a star. We're kind of open mind. You know, we're kind of open minded. Oh, did Michelin star just get tattoos and smoke weed?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Or is that our identity now? You know, so
how many stars does your brother's restaurant have?
I think 2.
And what's the max?
3.
3.
Yeah.
And so is that considered 2 as like
There's
great?
if you
or is
pull-
your brother like, son of a bitch, just 2?
No, I think he's stoked.
2's very good. There's
He's really stoked. Yeah.
it's like it's a good thing. There was a little phrase up there that said why
2's like a Netflix special.
What makes 2? What makes 3? But
Yeah.
Is that up there? Can we pull that up? What makes 2 is I don't know if I've ever. I honestly don't. I've never really have thought about it. I'm sure I've been to some. Not 3 stars. I feel like I would have seen that.
Also, they're really hard once you have one. Then to like,
I mean, I don't go to them. I go to my brother.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, they're hard to maintain. You can lose.
And they could come anytime. They could just sneak in there.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
yeah,
like, even if they technically still have it, you're like, there's sometimes like you're like, oh, this won a Michelin 2-3 years ago, and you go, and it's
Yeah,
like,
I think
when you see a Zagat rating and it's like Zagat best restaurant 1996, 1997, and then like at 2014 it just stops.
Yeah.
And you go,
Yeah.
what
Uh-oh,
changed
what happened?
in
Yeah.
2014?
And also, I've been eating eggs for 7 days straight. So like.
Now, if they gave
All
that
I
one
had-
star, that would be cool. They said, we stopped by Tommy Bayer's house.
You wanna
he
know-
just put some eggs in a pan.
You want to know what I ate today for real?
Tell me.
I ate 3 hard-boiled eggs, and I cooked them in the hot water on an espresso machine at the bar. So I got the hot water that comes out of the espresso machine, and I put 3 eggs in a metal container, and then I put the spicy margarita salt on them.
oh,
That's what I ate.
That's not that bad.
No, it's not bad, but that's like,
it's not great.
but we're like, Michelin, and I'm like, I ate like bad eggs.
So you're a great cook, but you don't always.
I cook at home. So I cook at home.
What's if you're having a lady over?
I'll
what are
roll
you cooking?
pasta.
Pasta.
Pasta if you're having a lady over.
You're
'cause
making the pasta.
Oh yeah, you make it a
Oh,
pasta.
I make
making
pasta. Make my own
You make
pasta.
pasta?
Yeah,
Oh my
Make
god.
the pasta.
got a machine.
You got the machine?
Yeah.
I do raviolis because I don't have the machine.
Okay, got the machine.
So I'll do like I'll like roast mushrooms and do like a pesto ricotta mushroom paste.
Do when a woman has it, do you feel like they fall in love with you? They eat the
I think
food?
it's a good if the date's gonna be in the apartment, you can the pasta takes a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Oh, yeah.
it's 2 hours. You know, so you can hang out and have a glass of wine and
You're cranky.
I was-
fucking yeah.
I was really cause my girlfriend. She's a picky eater, and she can't hide it. And I remember I used to cook occasionally.
Yeah.
I mean, not good, but I remember I made her a meal once, and I put too much soy sauce on it, and she couldn't just eat it.
Yeah.
She couldn't just
too
eat
much
it.
soy sauce. That is like a very that's hard to get around.
Sure, yeah.
Gianmarco.
Salty.
Like,
But there was
yeah.
something.
a
There
lot
was
of
something. I
salt.
was like, it really hurts.
It
my
hurt
soul.
her physically, I'm sure.
Oh
Yeah.
God. So
You're like, I burnt everything,
Yeah.
and she just could not eat charcoal, and it's like.
when were you cooking at a restaurant in New York, in Minneapolis?
I cooked with my little brother for a little bit, and not in his. We were at a different location, and then I worked at basically a deli in Minneapolis. So sandwiches, just line cook.
But when you were cooking, did you feel?
I was
any,
a bodega guy, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it and you're like doing it at a higher level with your brother, is it a same feeling of like I'm making something? Was it creative? Did you feel proud of
dude,
yourself?
A lot of Michelin stars. I've worked with cooks who worked at Michelin stars, and they're shit cooks. They're basically just like factory line workers. Like they're just fast as fuck on a salad station, but they don't have any like. They don't really, they think they know, but they don't really know. They do bullshit all the time in the kitchen. But
what does your brother have that you don't?
Fucking a palate. My palate's trash.
Really?
Really?
No, it's good, but it's not like I know what a good palate is, and I know I don't have one. And I have a better palate than most. But I can't.
But
yeah.
he's not tasting every single thing that he's
He just-
making.
he
He just
just-
knows from experience. I've tried that. I registered. Ooh, this needs this then and that then.
I know some stuff about wine. You ever hang out with people who know wine?
Yes.
I hate it. My stepfather.
I can't-
My father-in-law knows it like it's crazy.
That's
I know-
my stepfather.
I know
hate
wine,
it.
and I can bullshit my way because I have been waiting tables forever. I can bullshit my way through like what an orange wine is and what you're gonna taste.
Yeah.
And
You can identify the color that the wine is in.
yeah, I can go. I'm getting grapes. Interesting. But you hang around people who like know, and it's like okay, that's a different thing.
I can
That's kind of what separates.
I can
it.
only tell
I'm not-
if it's
yeah.
like you're like, oh, that's like a good. I can only tell if it's bad, basically.
I can't-
If you give me wine that you're like this and it's like tastes really bad, you're
bad.
like bad. That's
For
bad.
years-
This is bad.
But I could never differentiate the levels of good to great.
4
you know?
years in Harlem, I was living and I had wine and I would have some women over. I'd pour them a glass of wine in a coffee cup.
Yeah, you would.
And then one day I was talking to I think my sister and I said, yeah, no, I get most of my wine from CVS. And
Oh
she was
my God,
and she said
Gianmarco.
they
Yeah,
don't
that's it.
sell wine at CVS. I was like, then what have I been buying in all these wine bottles?
Yeah,
and she's
right
like,
by
look
the
at it.
register.
And it's wine product, which is similar to Manischewitz, which is just like sugary.
How old
wine.
were you when you were doing this?
I mean, up to 25, 26,
Gianmarco.
100%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And let me
Gianmarco,
tell
just go
you,
to a liquor
sometimes
store.
it's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a good sugary.
You're just like
drink.
Welch's grape juice.
Pretty much.
Beautiful lady.
Out of a coffee cup.
Would you like a little Welch's
not how it's done.
liqueur grape juice?
You know what? It tasted fine. It tasted
I
fine.
bet you didn't.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
You would if you'd had it now. You would be like,
I don't know if you would.
I
don't
know that I
Use
like
the-
Malbec. That's about it. I'll drink anything. I'll
Yeah.
be happy. I'll
Me
go.
too.
That's interesting.
I go to bars. I'd get a beer and a shot. I'm a booze
Yeah,
bag.
yeah.
I don't.
I don't know if this is good,
Well,
regular,
It's great.
fine.
It's Jim Gaffigan's, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's already sold out. He
great.
doesn't need our help.
It's
but I'm saying
great.
to me, it's
He's gonna
it's
sell
Scotch.
more. You
It's
keep saying
great.
it's sold
great.
out.
It's
Like,
But it's
great, and
Scotch.
I'm a comedian who's available. and it's a great whiskey, and I can do clean.
Listen, we've already when Jim Gaffigan saw me at a party once.
Oh, yeah.
and we only know each other through Twitter, really, and we talked twice. And he grabbed my shoulders and said, "The anti-Zionist," and then he left, and I was like, I don't know what that was.
you know if he likes that.
I don't know what
or-
that was. Let's just-
Gianmarco
How does it feel
Soresi.
as a Jew for a big Midwest Scandinavian man to grab you and say anti-Zionist?
I mean,
That's gotta be a pretty crazy-
It really changed my view of watching the Pop-Tarts movie. I think it really kind of. I started from a negative space. No, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. It was so interesting. So I did this fish festival.
Yeah.
And, normally my shows mostly are like for people who share my political views to a degree. Even if there are Zionists in the audience, they're probably like they'll joke about it a
Yeah.
little.
Well, you do a good job of it because a lot of your fans are like they're theater. Because how did you two meet, by the way?
We did a terrible theater piece
Yeah, we did an off-Broadway
called
show.
That Bachelorette Show.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then did comedy from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think I've seen that.
They're theatery. They're
No, you didn't.
No, I don't. I've never.
Though
I
theater-
don't think I've seen a play.
You weren't. You were maybe in middle school when,
Yeah.
when we were doing that.
The theater is not always as theater might be Democrat, but it's not left leaning per se.
No, it's
there's a lot.
but-
I think the most infuriating was when they did like a Les Mis song, and it was just like to raise money for Israel.
Yeah.
They were singing Les Mis, and I'm like,
Oh, yes.
buddy,
Yeah.
what do you think Les Mis is about?
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
you? What side do you think this reflects
but
here?
you push your audience.
I appreciate that.
That's which
You
is
do.
really good.
You do.
But at Fish, guess what? They don't want to be pushed.
Because you have nice libs, sweet libs.
I know.
Sweet libs.
Sweet theater lives.
Beautiful libs. The most beautiful
you got a Trump
libs.
in there? You got a Trump?
What?
You got a Trump impression?
I
deep
don't think
down?
I have a Trump impression. I did it one time years ago, and it didn't work in my favor. I
Yeah.
didn't feel good about
You
it.
just launch into it. You don't have to talk
Sometimes
about it. Like
I'll-
I tried it once. I was on vacation, and so I did it this.
I was on vacation. I was
tried it
on
once.
the beach.
I got
You
to
know.
China.
And I was so happy. I thought maybe I'm a Trump guy. Maybe I do Trump.
Every once in a while, I go China. No,
Yeah.
it's not
No,
there.
it's still not
China.
there.
The other day, I was alone. I think we've evolved where I think white guys are allowed to do Obama impressions.
I've been doing
At least
Obama.
Matt Friend's doing it. He's
Yeah.
and I can't do it, but I could do it a lot better than I could some other impressions in my life.
Yeah.
I got the and then I
Gianmarco.
go here. Chamorro. Yeah.
Wow.
Apartment's great.
Apartment's great.
It's a great apartment. Good
Do you-
podcast.
We have to.
as
We
well.
have
Come
to
on,
have.
launch
We have
into
to
it.
have.
Play the fucking game.
Shut up! I'm telling you a different thing about impressions. We have to have Douglas do his Bill Clinton.
So our
On
friend
the
Douglas,
podcast. Oh my God.
He said he wrote a sketch. It was a good sketch. It was when we thought Hillary Clinton was going to win. So the
Yeah.
idea was Bill Clinton was the first gentleman,
Yeah.
and all the questions people just wanted to talk to him. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're like,
For
Bill,
her-
what's
for
it
her
like?
I
first
love just
press
that when
conference.
when we thought Hillary was going to
Yeah.
And Bill, he was like, I can do Bill. I was like, let's see Bill. He goes, I did not have sex.
I did not have sex.
I did not have sex with that
And we were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
He was really trying to do it too.
Yeah.
I did not have sex.
He's just like, did I do that? And you're like, no, different guy.
Okay, this joke didn't work. Tell me if this joke makes sense. It was the idea. You know how sometimes pizza delivery and then they deliver it. I don't know if they still do this, but when I was a kid, if it took too long and the pizza was cold, you could be like, "Hey, the pizza was cold," and you'd get a refund or a discount off the next pizza
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever. And I was like, "Do you think Jeffrey Epstein was ever like delivering girls to Bill Clinton?" And when they got there, he was like, "This one's already over 18."
My
It-
God.
There's something.
It's the idea that she's like 17 and
Yeah,
11 months. Like it takes her a month to get over there.
Yeah.
And she ages.
I think you're asking a lot of the audience to like really guffaw at it. You know what I mean? It's upsetting. And then it's also like they're already not.
I did that for the corporate
already
people
they don't
last
want.
night.
They don't want to like laugh at. They don't want to laugh at Bill Clinton being a pedophile.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then you're
yeah.
asking them to really think about it more. And
Yeah,
it's
they're like, I was applauding Bill Clinton
oh,
chasing the balloons last time.
I forgot about
my
that.
God. Oh, yeah. People
Yeah.
were like, whoa.
Whoa.
Remember Hillary? She did that thing. She went,
Yeah. Do you remember that?
What?
Do you remember that?
Bill Clinton?
Well, what do you mean?
It was during
It
the
was the last
2016.
CNC. Or
No,
2016?
two ago.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 8
Where there
years
was a
ago.
bunch of balloons and Bill was playing with the balloons and everyone was like, oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah. I was 19.
Okay. Russell, you just turned 38?
Shut the fuck up.
So your father...
Yes.
No, you know what I want to. I heard you talk about it.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us about? Because I listened to it on another podcast. You went to Europe recently.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about getting on that plane for Europe?
Oh yeah. To London?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my God.
Can you tell us?
All right. So this is like the most insane thing that's like happened to me. I don't know. So you know what happens.
Yeah, but I'm
but
gonna.
before-
but I can do this thing where I because this is what I went to college for. Where I will go. Oh my God! And then what happened?
Has anything? You travel a lot. You're a successful comedian.
It's an insane story, and all
You're a
your
success-
feelings about it are completely
Has
valid.
anything like that ever happened to you?
No.
And you are in the airport once a week, maybe.
Absolutely.
Oh, multiple weeks.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So I go to Europe this summer for 2 months is what I did. I took off work because I just I've never been out of the country. And
He's been eating boiled eggs every day.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got to get out of here.
I've just been working since I was like 14, and then I started stand up at like around when I was
You
like
don't have to,
19 or 20, and I was like, dude, I just did the road a ton when I was a kid. And I was like, dude, go to Italy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
psycho.
Have a holiday.
Have a holiday.
This guy gets it. This
I
guy.
get it. Listen, I'm on holiday. all the
He's
time.
in New Orleans in his head right now.
You like New Orleans?
I do love New Orleans.
I've never been.
Oh, you gotta go.
I want to go so bad.
yeah.
Okay. I just want to I just want to party in New Orleans for like 3 days.
I'm going for a full week for Mardi Gras.
I'll see you
next
there.
year. Yeah.
I think Tova and I are gonna go.
Great.
All right.
If it's not a
No, I'm inviting everyone.
Mardi Gras.
I mean, anyone
Mardi
that
Gras,
hears this,
Mardi Gras pod.
anyone that
we'll
hears this
link up.
podcast right now, you're invited.
Yeah.
Come find me, Mardi Gras.
We're gonna link up. It's gonna be
2025.
great.
you and
Yeah.
Bodie hanging out
Yeah.
in New Orleans.
Mardi Gras 2025. Can't wait. So
Yeah.
stoked. Yeah. So it's a midnight flight to London. I'm nervous. I've never been out of the country, so it's big. It's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I go out to dinner with this girl I'm seeing. It's great. I leave my sunglasses at the. I spend like $100 on like some nice sunglasses.
Yeah.
So I leave them at the table. So we're on the train and I'm like, oh shit, we got to go back. Go back, get the sunglasses. Okay, now I'm kind of running a little bit behind.
Oh, God.
And it's like, okay. No, now I'm actually kind of running on time because I wanted to get there early, 20 minutes out of the way. Okay, so now I'm on time,
Yeah.
and I want to be there. Have you ever heard of fucking Atlanta? What did I fly? Norse Airlines.
No.
Can't say that I
That's
have.
that's the thing. No one's ever heard of this. So my mom. So I get this like $200 ticket to London, and I'm like, yeah. It's
Oh
like,
my God.
and people are like, what are you flying? And I go,
flying in a
I've never
chicken cage.
I've never been out of the country. So I go, Norse Airlines, and everyone goes, that doesn't exist. And I go, fuck.
But you got it off like a Travelocity.
Huh?
Like what website
you get
did you get it off of?
Online?
But like you didn't just Google like
You
flight.
didn't go to
No.
Norse.
You went to like a travel website.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it
and-
felt legit. It didn't feel like you like Googled cheap and you said
No, it felt legit. I put my credit card into the website and everything. I mean, it was.
that's all it
Yeah.
takes.
I mean, it was the real deal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I put my credit card and name and
my social
It'd be funny if you're
security.
like,
And
no,
my-
I called the Norwegian man directly and
Yeah.
gave him all my information.
Oh, yeah,
my
so-
social
I
security.
said my
Really?
mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
I gave it all.
Yeah, and I sent a dick pic, and they said, "Now you're good to go."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm ready to get taken in
Yeah.
London. That's another thing. People are like, don't get people are telling me not to get kidnapped, and I'm like, I'm a 28-year-old man.
Yeah.
I'm past this.
Can you fight? I mean, you're as I said, you look young.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I could see someone going
I'm
like
6 feet tall, and I can't fight, but I have been in fights and I've lost them all. So
how did you lose? Like the ref
you get
said,
punched in the face enough, and then you just go down, man.
What does it feel like in punching? We've never been punched in the face.
Yeah, your legs just go out. It feels like your knees buckle, and you just don't have yeah.
Oh my god.
God.
What,
Yeah. Oh,
what did you?
Dude, God, can you guys stop being theater guys?
I've done fake punches. I've done these.
I've done.
I'm never telling
my
you
God.
guys. Yeah, but oh my.
I've choked like this.
Oh, and then I'm like,
Hey, you guys are supposed to laugh.
Yeah.
And you guys went.
oh my God. Well, no, it
almost
really
hugged
is
me.
getting punched. That's crazy. I can't imagine. Luckily,
I wish
for
I
my-
had so I could know.
I like how we're all just like, and I mean, here's the thing about getting punched, not good.
Yeah. For
It's
my
just
size, it
no
doesn't
matter how
happen.
you square it.
I think it's my size too.
People I think would back down.
if people knew how quickly I would go down,
and I'm an actor, so
Yeah.
I can fake scare them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not that
yeah.
I have really.
Wait, can I see like kind of like tell me to like back get the
Shut up. No.
can you go there?
I
'Cause
mean, I could, but okay, I'll do it if you do it first.
yeah.
it's,
You're like
it's
you're like
hard.
you're kind of built. You're kind of buff, low key.
it's tough. It's embarrassing to get
Yeah,
that
you
bad.
look strong
There's
as
something-
hell,
there's
and
something
you look strong as hell,
embarrassing.
and you look
I mean,
athletic.
I played football. I've hit people, but I've never gotten in a
But
physical
he's saying
fight.
verbal. Like verbal, I think I can. You have to really.
Oh,
you have
you're
to
yeah.
really wrong. Like I have to feel like I'm in the clear. Like
Yeah.
I will not
Go
initiate a fight.
go like, hey buddy, fuck off.
I don't think it'd be scary there, but I would yell.
Yeah,
All right, let's try it. Jesus Christ.
yeah. Okay, acting exercise. Come
But
on.
like, give me. All right, so you're play
I'm at the-
my girlfriend.
Okay.
Oh my God, you're gonna yell at
So
the
no, I'm saying no.
Yeah. I'm
Play my girlfriend and tell me I didn't do the dishes tonight.
I've been dying.
I've been dying to get in this
I've been dying
space.
to get this out.
Throws me across.
This is also how I talk when I'm not on
my
the
God.
podcast.
This is not
I'm
gonna
one of
be-
these guys.
It's gonna be humiliating. All right, so say something shitty to me. Hey.
Wait,
No, we're talking at a bar, and
you're
you're.
ta- yeah.
I'm talking to my friend Russell at a bar,
yeah.
Okay.
and you
Okay.
say something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sydney,
Hey, buddy. Your girlfriend's fucking hot,
Oh my God.
and I'm gonna just, I would love to fucking kiss
Oh
her
my God.
straight up on the fucking forehead.
back the fuck off.
That's all you're gonna say?
Well, I
just-
start.
Now I kind of want to fucking hit on you now.
I guess we're fucking.
Now-
Because like
hey,
what?
Hey, I'll fuck the both of yous. I don't care. I'll take you both home.
So weird start of
Yeah. Bisexual
Hey,
guy who
hey, back off,
Hey.
hey,
or maybe.
hey, you look pretty good too, pal. Maybe I'll take you home. Huh? What do you think about that?
What?
But I'd yell. I'd go, hey,
do
back
yell.
the fuck off. Like I would do that. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my god!
Like that's.
I've seen you yell like that, yeah.
Do you know what I do?
When have you seen me yell like that?
I've seen not that volume,
Mm-hmm.
but I've seen you get mad for sure.
Yeah, I've never seen you get that mad except in a sketch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I
That's
let it come
fun.
out.
Yeah, I'll get like I'll start like swearing incoherently. I'll be like, get your fucking crap and shit it like out of my shit.
I go to
man."
cunt. I go, you fucking cunt.
Oh,
Dude, fuck you, you fuck. It's always when they're like away.
Cunt is not even in my Rolodex. It's like not even.
Really, cunt is in my.
I don't even have it. Like
it upsets me how quick cunt go is where I with,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Cunt-
because there's something beautiful. That word is like
it's tough, dude.
it's a tough.
But in
word.
Australia, when I said bitch, that felt like it. They were like, whoa, and
Dude,
cunt was fine.
also, fuck, if you just say fuck in Germany when I was doing shows, it's like, it's jarring.
Really?
And for the show I did, it seemed like I was being edgy, and I'm like not an edgy comic, but I say, because I'm a fucking idiot, so I don't have a good vocabulary. So
Yeah.
I'll say fuck a lot, and people are like, hey, easy. But then they're saying cunt all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah,
you guys have
they
a.
love cunt. They say it all. The
I
time.
say cunt
They love-
less.
they
I say
love
cunt less here. I say cunt
They,
less in
cunt-
America.
they are cunt over. They serve. They serve.
Yeah, I think the worst for me still. We talked about. I think the worst if I said whore. If I said whore like with a real intention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like I had to reach deep in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Calling your buddy a whore is like really funny.
Yeah.
You know?
None of my buddies are whorish enough to call a whore.
Like,
They're
I'll-
all in like very monogamous
Yeah.
relationships.
Like, I'll talk to my friend about like what he made for dinner last night, and I'm just like, you fucking whore, dude. Sounds delicious.
Okay, so you got your
Oh, yeah.
ticket.
So I get my ticket. So Norse Airlines, no one's ever heard of this. My mom's like, that doesn't exist. And I'm like, well, it does. So, and you can't check in online, which is also, so, because I'm, yeah, right.
There's some red
right.
flags.
They're-
Yeah.
they're
That's not enough. There's some airlines where they're like, you got to check in at the desk.
True. But I think it's the combo of not
Of Norse.
of Norse Air when no one's heard of it.
Right.
You know, like
so I can't take the train anymore. So I call a Lyft, and I'm at my apartment, and I call a Lyft to JFK, and the guy starts taking a different route, and they send you that notification on your phone, like your driver's going a different route. So I go, hey man, you're going a different route, and I'm not gonna do the accent, but he's just like, oh my friend, he's like,
Don't do it. So what did he say?
shut up.
And he's like, oh, I've been driving for a billion years. I know everything. And I go, okay, fine, you genius. And because it says, it's like, hey, you're going to be 20 minutes late. And I go, it says I'm going to be 20 minutes late. And he's like, he's like,
You dumb.
you dumb white bitch. And that's what he said. And then he's like, I know, I drive.
You fucking whore.
You fucking
dumb
whore. I know
bitch.
exactly. So why don't you shut your pretty little mouth up, is what he said to me. So I said, okay, God bless, man. So then we get to the airport and he goes, my friend, I'm sorry. You were right. We're 20 minutes late. And I go, I know.
Oh, man.
I know, because guess what? The computer in the sky's right.
And you could see it the whole
And
time.
he's like, I didn't know.
You know?
He's like, I didn't know the highway would be closed. And I go, you know what did? The 1,000 satellites watching our every move in the porn I watch.
I don't understand the resistance of. That's the thing where people are always like, can you believe Uber like kicked the New York cab drivers, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, every time I've taken a New York cab, it's like they refuse to use GPS sometimes.
Yeah.
And like, it's just this thing.
I've been into a cab. I've hailed a cab like 6 times. 'Cause I've been in New York for only 4 years. And one time a guy went down a one-way for a little bit so he could take the next turn.
Oh.
And I was like, go.
Okay,
But that's how it used to be. I feel like there's like
Goat shit.
there's parts of Europe where like to be a cab driver, like you know it. And now
Well,
sometimes I
Europe-
get in cabs now and they go, so
Where is
what
that?
way do you want to take?
Well,
and I'm
if
like,
you're-
I don't
I
fucking
know.
know.
But also, if you're driving in like Lisbon or Italy, there's streets that don't exist on Google Maps.
Yeah.
It's just like an alleyway, and it's a woman's alley, and she owns it, and you drive through her living
You can
room.
squeeze through this living
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, you drive through a living room because you can't legally put a woman's living room on Google Maps. But a cab driver's like, I know you got to go through this bathroom.
She's at work from 4 to 5.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. So,
So you're 20 minutes late.
20 minutes late. So now I'm late. I'm at the airport and I'm late. It is 11
For your first international
for my
flight
first
ever.
international flight, baby. Flight's boarding at 12.
It's 11.
It's 11:15.
Oh, brother.
Were you going to check a bag?
I didn't check a bag. I had a big bag. I had a big backpack and
That's
I
fine.
shoved it.
Good for you
Good,
traveling
good,
Europe
good,
with just
good,
a big backpack.
You know, I have a.
I guess your clothes are smaller
I
than
have
mine,
a bag hack too. It's kind of a piece of shit move, but I will get to that later. But you don't whatever. You don't check it. You just you act like you show up late to the gate when you're boarding, and you go because I was flying a lot. I just couldn't afford the $75 bag check.
Yeah.
I just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So I would just be like, oh, sorry, I just got here. I didn't have the gate closed. I didn't have time to check my bag. And they'd just be like, ugh, like stupid American
I did
will
that.
take it
I did that one time
on
and-
accident.
No, on purpose. Same
Yeah.
thing. You just act and you say because I was coming back from like a
Yeah.
gig.
How did you
and
act it? What
I
does it
just
look
was like,
like?
I go,
Get mad, and also get mad at her.
I go,
Or them.
I go, oh, I know. I don't know. I ran out of time. And she goes, you can't do that. And I go, I know, but I'm here. And I'm so sorry. I will never do it again.
Yeah,
and,
that's what you
and they're,
have
they're,
to
they're
say.
like, but you can't. And I was like, I'm, and you just get on. Like
Yeah.
you just,
Yeah.
you just do it. You know what I mean?
I shoplift. I steal from the airport a lot. I don't steal in my everyday life, but I'll
Are you serious?
I steal at the airport.
At the airport?
Well,
That seems
everybody
very
does.
stressful.
That's what kind of things are you stealing?
Wait, you guys are joking because we all do this, right?
No,
we don't all do
We don't
this.
steal. I stole one time and I taled about it on this podcast.
Wait, what do you don't steal from the airport?
Absolutely not.
You're not snagging it. I'm not
Oh,
spending
what? What are you stealing?
$18 turkey sandwiches.
Oh my God.
Oh,
That's how they got
my
the jinx.
God.
That's how they got the jinx. They caught him stealing a sandwich. Really?
Who's the jinx?
He murdered someone.
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
God, well, I
guess once you murder someone, you're fine stealing a sandwich.
No, but that's what caught him. They found him.
How are you doing it? What's your technique?
Okay, well, okay. You go to a spot where they have a bookstore attached to where they sell sandwiches and water bottles, and if you want to get a tote, I'm a tote guy, you know, and you just go, you take the sandwich, you put it in your damn tote, and then you go check out the books for a little bit, and you read and you peruse, and you go, oh wow, Stephen King, who the fuck is that? And then you walk the
You ever
hell
get
out.
nervous? You got seen? Someone saw you?
Of course, yeah.
I just feel like at an airport, I assume there's cameras everywhere.
What are they gonna do? Send me to airport jail? Maybe.
Yeah.
I bet there's a prison there.
What are they gonna-
And you're in there, and you're there with fucking Al Qaeda, and they're like, "Who's this?"
Yeah,
fucking-"
yeah. And I go, do you guys want to do my podcast sometime?
My God.
All right.
Okay.
At the airport, so everybody has to check their bags in. Everybody has to check in for their flight to get their boarding pass. Okay, so this is Norse.
Yeah, buddy. I'm familiar.
Okay, well, it's usually online, so I got to go get
Oh,
I got to get the
okay.
physical boarding pass. And everybody's having problems at Norse Airlines at the gate. Everyone's
that
having
doesn't
issue.
sound like Norse Air
And
to me.
Good old Norse Air. That's not the Norse Air
That's
I know.
not the Norse Air I know.
That's just not the Norse Air.
You're
That
tweeting at Norse Air, and it has 3 followers.
Norse Air is tweeting at you like, can I come on the downside? I need to promote my airlines. everyone's having problems. It's making me nervous. By the time I get there, it's 11:30. Boarding at midnight.
Okay.
And I get there and I get to the desk, and it's midnight. This is JFK. This is like a 42-year-old Jamaican woman at the desk. She looks tired as fuck. I'm trying to be as nice as possible, and she's like, okay, let me see your passport. Where are you going? London. Okay, cool. All right. There's it says here there's no seats, and I go, okay. Because I didn't buy the $50 seats. Because they
It's
say
assigned
we'll
when you check
assign
in.
you a seat when you check in. But I'm on the app, so I go, well, they said there's a seat for $100 right up front. I was like, I'll just spend that. Fuck it, I'll just spend that money right now. I need to get to. I have shows in Dublin that day, and she's like, yeah, okay, but yeah, I don't. That's not coming up on my end. So just I'm just gonna have you step to the side, and I'm just like, oh. I've never missed a flight. I've never been late. I'm pretty punctual. I've never been.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so it's happening to me. That's when something bad's happening. That's your first thought is like, okay, so I'm not different. Like like the bad thing that your friends tell you about that happened at airport. You're like, okay, so I'm also included in that, and you're like, okay, fine, and she's on the computer. She's on the phone. She's typing. They type so fast.
Yeah.
Sure.
Those motherfuckers behind the airport desk.
Yeah, they do type
Yeah.
fast.
What the hell are they?
And they type so much.
What if you're
too.
dating someone who works at an airport desk and they don't like text you back fast, and you're like, you bitch, like, come on, you know what I mean? She's typing so fast. She's on the phone. She's blah blah blah. I'm sweating and pissing and shitting myself. And she goes, okay, sir, can you come over here? And she goes, okay, so we overbooked the flight. It's the first thing she says, which is a thing that happens, especially post-COVID.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, so this thing that I hear about is happening. She goes, you don't have a seat. We overbooked the flight. You can't get on. And I go, okay, I feel my soul drop. I tried to do one special thing for myself and go to Europe and do comedy, and I go, okay, so this is not going to work out, and I'm just sad. I'm not mad. Yeah. I don't get mad. I never get mad at people or certain public. I just don't. That's
where I do the thing I just did before. Hey, buddy, back the fuck off and get me on the fucking phone.
Yeah.
But you're just broken.
Well, because I'm broken, and also I just know. It's not like because I also know she's not like she's not like slanging tickets as a side hustle like to her friend. It's just no saying this.
But what are they offering you?
Huh?
What are they offering you?
So I go okay. So she goes, we overbooked the flight. You can't go on. And I go, okay. So what are we gonna do? And she goes, so I can put you on another flight free of charge in 3 days. And this is I'm tired. It's 11:30. It's 11:30. I'm tired, and my whole night lose my sunglasses and the Lyft drive over here. And I go, and I've chosen Dublin for the next 4 days, so I missed half my shows, and also like a bigger comedian helped me book those shows. It's just not a fucking I got some shows that it was probably be tough for just me to get. Yeah. I go that. I just go, that's, my face is like beet red. And I'm just like, it's just not going to work. And she goes, no, I'm just kidding. Here's your boarding pass and passport. Have a safe flight.
Wait, she's doing this whole bit. You gotta get their security. What is this bit?
So she goes,
what is this bit?
Russell. So she goes, no, I'm just kidding. Here's your boarding pass and passport. Have a safe flight. And I go, what? And she starts laughing. She's like, yeah, I got you. And I go, because I start laughing too, because of shock.
Crazy.
It's
you start laughing like the Joker.
It's like when your wife almost gets hit by a car and you're like, oh, it's like that. And she's like, and I go, the first thing I say, I go, is that allowed? And she's like, you gotta go. You're running late. You gotta go. And I go,
Imagine
And-
this giant line of people.
I
She's
haven't
doing
even-
this bit with everyone.
Dog,
Like,
I haven't even been through TSA. I haven't got through TSA yet. I haven't even done
my
security yet.
God.
And she's like, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Then you get to TSA and they're like, we gotta do a strip search.
Yeah.
They open up your asshole. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
You gotta go.
You gotta go.
You're late,
You gotta get
pal.
on that plane. Cut it out.
Buddy, you're late.
And then someone on the plane like, I'm hijacking this plane.
I'm just kidding. You fucking idiot.
We gotta go.
Don't you know what a
gotta
joke
go.
is, you fucking moron? I'm kidding. I'm just doing terrorism, you stupid asshole.
The pilot's like, we're crashing the plane.
we're
Whoa,
crashing.
Whoa.
Oh, look at you. I got you. Look at your face, you fucking piece of shit. I've never
my
seen
God.
anyone as dumb as you.
Oh my God.
And I don't even, it's I don't even know if it happened. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't, I'm like,
yeah.
every single, like, once, since then, that happened June 2nd. Since then, I've been like, yeah, like once every 4 days, I'll be like, oh, wow. So here's the question. When did the prank start?
Yeah.
So, because I told you multiple things, she had me aside for 6-7 minutes. So, was there?
She's typing to her, she's typing to her friends like, oh my God,
I'm
I got
about
this
to-
guy right
I'm
now.
about to-
Critical time for you
I'm
to
about
like.
to get this fucking stupid.
Can you imagine if you've missed it by 6-7 minutes?
And then you come back, she'd be like, oh, that sucks.
So here's the thing. Also, why me?
Sure.
What about me? What about what I was wearing and my disposition? And I was already nervous. Where she's like, this fucker doesn't travel,
Just kidding.
and I'm gonna fuck with him.
I mean, on some level, I appreciate she's keeping her work.
yeah,
lively.
sure.
I mean, that's like right below a doctor being like coming out to the family, dad's in heart surgery. Like, I'm sorry to say,
Yeah.
you got to live with this knucklehead a little while longer. Like it's so you can't
No,
have that job.
it's like it's the Simpsons doctor always doing the bit before it's
What is he- oh,
it's
yeah.
Ricky Gervais on Louis going like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
it's like, why are we
Yeah.
doing this? This is a serious situation, it's
Yeah.
and so my whole thing that I think about is like, was there no seats from the beginning? And she found seats and was like, I'm gonna stretch this.
I guess so. That's my guess.
That's my guess,
That
too.
was overbooked. She did have to figure it out. She figured it out, and right in that moment, she said, "Let me fuck with this guy for a second."
For 1 second.
But why
yeah.
why would it be overbooked if there's just a seat? What do you mean there's no seats? They should just come up.
I don't know what happens at those airports, though. You know what I mean? Like they have like people waiting.
Yeah.
Maybe someone
Mhm.
canceled. You know.
Yeah, it was overbooked, or they found out like, oh, they gave it to.
Yeah. You know, in like
Or someone
Minority
else was-
Report, when Tom Cruise is like,
Yeah.
and he's like bringing things closer in, that's like what they're
Yeah.
doing to just because you shouldn't know what's going on.
Or someone was in the line next to you getting pranked, and yours just went through quicker than theirs. You know what I mean? Like,
Have you ever done when
knows?
you check in? I've had a couple times where they go like, "Would you give up your seat for XYZ
Yeah,
dollars?"
yeah.
And one day I hope it's like for $10,000.
I know.
Uh,
It's
yeah.
always-
I got a buddy one
it's
time.
always like shitty.
I got a-
felt like.
I got a buddy, and he's like a bartender, gambler, and like stock guy, and he's like he's awesome, but he's just one of those guys.
Mhm.
And he gets on an overbooked flight. There's they're offering money to get back. Like, okay, we need 5 people who can't be on the flight, and we're all gonna pay you. Say the flight's $300, we're gonna give you $380. And people go, oh, great, and then he goes, wait, hold it out. He gets 4 other people. He goes, wait it out. And they go, what? He goes, they're going to up it. And then he gets 4 other people, and they go, 30 minutes go by, and they go, okay, $500. And he goes, wait it out a little bit more. And he gets them to go to like 800. He's like, 800. He's like, buy right now. And he gets him and like 4 other guys like $800.
Yeah, that's fucking
Yeah.
sick.
Isn't that fucking sick?
Yeah.
He tells me that he's taking me out for drinks. He's like, you're not gonna believe how I got this one. And I was like, you're such a fucking G. Like, that's awesome.
Even if I said hold it out, and then he goes like, I'll take it right now, please. Let me have this money, please.
Yeah. He's like, don't sell. He's like, hold the line.
I don't have that.
No.
So
He's
you
very-
have
he's
to be calm.
I'm always like,
He's calm. He's very
I don't get home.
charismatic. He's like one of the best pool players that I know. Like, we play pool together,
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm good, but he's like really good,
Mm-hmm.
because he's just like, just is one of those guys. Yeah.
You were a skater boy.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And basketball.
Which were you better at, basketball or skating?
Ball. I was better at basketball. I played high school.
Really? It's so funny. I know that 6 feet is tall, and I don't mean this. I just as a 6'4" person.
Yeah.
I don't see you as tall.
Sure, yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah, I'm 4 inches
short or
shorter
my
than you.
height.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what position?
I'd be looking at a guy. I look at a guy who's 5'8". I pick him up if he needs something.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh, buddy, you need to get up there. You know,
What position?
point guard. Yeah, I was short for about 6 is not that tall.
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
basketball. Yeah.
Did you ever play ball?
You played football?
I played football.
Yeah.
Yeah. I meant ball.
I played freshman basketball. It was not a good fit, you know.
I mean, I wasn't great. I
I
put.
told you the story about when I rolled my ankle in a game.
I don't think so.
Kid called me Patrick Ewing. This
That's a compliment.
little pipsqueak. Well, no. This little pipsqueak ran. I was set.
Yeah.
He ran into me, and he just fell over like I was planted, you know. But like the crowd, it was like a one-way game. The crowd was like they thought I like threw him to the ground. Like they were like they were mad. They were like yelling about me.
Did you hit your growth spurt early?
Oh, I was big.
Yeah.
But so they're mad. They're yelling about this, and the kid runs into me, kind of like leaves the ball, and I just like had a straight shot, made a layup, and immediately, and they're very mad. Immediately roll my ankle, like kind of badly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm like sitting on the sideline, and then it's halftime, and the team all goes inside the locker room, and this family or this like group of people still really mad, and they're kind of like yelling things at me, and because I rolled my ankle, I'm kind of like left out alone, and they're like they start like really yelling. And then they start kind of barking, like they were the Bulldogs, I think the team, and they were like, "This is Bulldog County. This is Bulldog County. You don't come in here and take knock our little kid down." Like I don't know what his name is.
There's nothing.
But like they're yelling,
Yeah.
and I'm like hobbling, like a little 9th grade boy, hobbling across the court, like kind of scared, like and injured, to try to get the thing, and they're yelling things, and I was like, "What is that?" Like, I mean, I did football, and I guess you're further away from people, and you don't really hear that.
A
stuff.
small county hates the county next to them.
They do, yeah.
There's nothing. They're like,
Sherburne Earlville. That was the name of the school.
Sounds like Chernobyl. What you just said.
Exactly.
Chernobyl.
Exactly. It's
sounds like someone who has been in Chernobyl is affected, and they're
real
like,
shithole of a
Chernobyl's
school.
crazy.
I wasn't able to do it. It was like probably the coolest thing I ever like couldn't do. But I had left the Netflix festival, and then they said, and I wasn't picked by her, but I guess Sarah Silverman was doing like a comedy basketball game.
Okay.
And just because I'm tall, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They were like, you can be on it.
And you're
it was
like athletic. Like you look athletic.
Yes,
you are.
it's
Like I bet you're a great runner.
It's an illusion though. Like basketball, I tried once in college, and I mean, within 10 seconds, I rolled my ankle. I said, I can't do. I mean, I'm not coordinated.
Oh, okay.
And I knew if I had gone,
You're built for the stage.
yes, like I could play a basketball player for sure.
Yeah.
I could yell too. That was a foul.
That's really good.
That was a fuck. But I know that if I had gone, it would have been like so bad. It's like sometimes with like my girlfriend, it'd be like, "Hey, let's play tennis?" But like, I have a feeling she's so bad, and I would be so bad in relation to someone else that it's not even fun.
Yeah.
That Sarah would be like, "What was that?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be
Do you
like,
know
"I'm
who
sorry."
played-
It would be bad for your career.
I'm sure like Adam Sandler. Yeah, it wouldn't be good.
It's not a good career move for you to be in the comedian's basketball game.
If I hurt my comedy career because of my
you
basketball skills,
you want to be like, oh, I can't. Can I next year? You want to like you want to keep missing the game.
yeah.
You want to be in the
comedian's tap
conversation.
dance.
I
dancing
don't want to
routine.
have to navigate like, okay, so you're playing, you get invited to one of Adam Sandler's basketball games.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have to navigate to a degree? Like, are you gonna fucking just destroy Adam Sandler? Like, what if you see and he looks a little mad? Are you gonna be like, I'm gonna play a little easier?
I don't give a shit.
You're going hard.
I'm gonna yeah.
You're going, you can do it. You can't do it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going up to, hey buddy, how's it going? You know, right in his ear.
How far did you take your basketball? You have so many skills.
Yeah, I'm so medium at so many things.
Sure.
I just varsity, and then I back up, and then I quit because the coaches were mean, and I wasn't getting any playtime, and I was into partying. And
The coaches were mean.
the coaches were so mean.
was it ever
Just
inspiring?
to you, or
they
like
just-
in the like way
Everybody,
coaches
they
are
would
mean?
yell and call you
Yeah,
a
sometimes
pussy and other
sometimes
slurs I
sometimes
can't
that
say.
doesn't work. Like that kind of like
It worked. It would
coach
it would
thing.
fire me up like a lot when I was like 15, and but it was like and then it was like it's like Whiplash is one of my favorite movies because it's a sports movie.
Of course.
It's not a movie, and I'm my dad's a musician, so me and my brothers play music and stuff like that, and that's not how like music people are, well, it's like Whiplash is like The Bear, where it's like, yeah, I guess that has happened, but most cases no. But Whiplash is a movie about sports. It's a coach
Sure.
and the player.
But
Because
I think
coaches would yell at you and embarrass you and humiliate you and yell and say terrible, awful things that I won't say on the podcast.
But it's also
And-
about art because there is a level of. Because my favorite movie
but
of that ilk is
basketball-
Black Swan. And you could say Black Swan is a sports movie too.
It is a
but
sports
it's
movie.
also about her like finding like her emotional truth. I don't think
No,
they
but
went up to
basketball-
Michael Jordan and said like, "Well, think about your childhood."
No, there's emotion. No, basketball is art the same way that dancing is. It's all like a performance.
So why call it a sports movie and not the sports movie art? Or are they not the
It's
same?
all art. It's all fucking.
It's all
It's
all
all
art.
fucking. It's
Yeah.
all love, dog.
The
Travis
yelling.
Kelsey's going to be in the Happy Gilmore too. It's all
Oh,
art and
That's
bro,
true,
sports.
yeah.
and-
What even is art, man? All right.
That's true.
I do think it's only fair that occasionally they take
Yeah.
an actor and put him on an NFL team just to
Yeah.
be like, hey, this is only
Yeah.
if Travis Kelsey gets an
Yeah.
acting role.
Yeah, do you remember when they
Dude,
had
let me
like,
kick one field goal and just shit the bed.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause
he's
sometimes-
fucking up the movie. Let me fuck up the game.
because sometimes they do
Yeah.
it and they're just like pretending that it's good, and like they're like, oh, actually, LeBron's really great in Trainwreck. You're like,
Yeah.
no, he's not.
He's not.
Every single line, it's terrible. It's like and you're like, we're just reacting because we like LeBron. Like we're
Yeah.
just like can we just say
If
that?
Blake Griffin's gonna do spots at the Cellar, let me
Yeah.
put me in the NBA
If
for.
Vinny Giardino's gonna go up at the stand and I can't even get an audition there, what the fuck are we doing anymore?
let me get
that
in. Let me
don't-
shoot one
no,
shot.
that's our friend. That is our friend and former coworker.
Vinny Giardino replaced me in the show that we did together, and now he's getting comedy spots too.
and he won't even come on
the
the
way
pod.
the way that it's like Vinny Giardino respect Gianmarco Soresi, but it's like, what? It's too
I want to tell
Italian.
that story again. I'm going to tell it because I'm going to tell it. So Vinny Giardino.
Oh, we've told this story so many
no,
times.
but you
on this
told it. You
podcast.
told it like delicately. I
All
want
the
to tell it
Booker
harsh.
sees is two Italian guys.
Vinny Giardino replaced me on a show.
Vinny Giardino replaces Gianmarco Soresi. Doesn't stand at the show. The show.
He went up to Russell and said, "Hey, look at this porn star. I'm dating her."
No, he didn't say look at her. He told me the story and used her name in it. So then I
Yeah,
looked
he's
her up
like,
later.
so I'm fucking this porn star.
I'll tell you who it is later.
And then later, next time they have the show, Russell says to him, "Hey, are you still seeing that porn star?" And he goes, "Who told you that? Is word getting around?" That's the funniest thing he's ever fucking done. If he was funny, he'd tell that goddamn story on stage. God damn. I don't know. Something about that. Something about that broke me. Something about that broke me seeing that on stage.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
You know the score.
I remember when Stormy Daniels was like touring comedy clubs.
Yeah.
And
I was her opener.
Yeah. Yeah. She was a lot of people's openers. And
Be respectful.
she went on stage. She said, "You want to know what Trump's
Hey.
penis looks like?" And all the liberals said, "Yeah, we're not weird.
that's
We want to
literally-
hear what Trump's penis look like."
That's literally my best friend.
You don't want to know?
I do want to know.
yeah.
She described it.
I want to know what most people's penis looks like. I don't know where that puts me.
Okay, whose penis? You can pick any penis.
Yeah.
So someone that people will know from home. Like, don't say like, don't say some random. What celebrity's penis are you like? I'm curious what that penis looks like. With men. I'm always like, they must
Yeah.
have a big cock. They seem very confident.
No.
I
no,
want to
no,
know
no,
what
no,
Pete
no.
Davidson's. I want to know. Is it really like?
No.
Oh my god!
I guarantee you, it's fine. It's cap.
You don't think it's big?
I bet it's good, but it's cap. It's not as big as Ariana Grande is so small. She's Ariana Picanio, if you ask me, folks. But listen,
Don't do your act on the podcast, please.
but seriously, folks, she
What do you think, Pete Davidson? You think it's like, you go, Jesus Christ.
I think it's probably fine.
I think it's fine.
You know?
It's a little better than fine.
Okay, yeah.
Kim
it's probably-
Kardashian's going on TV going
he's-
like,
okay, he's very skinny. So it always
you look. It looks bigger
he's
on
like a
skinnier
skeleton.
guys.
He's like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
like a
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I bet it's fine.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's, but you know.
All right, now what animated character's penis do you want to see?
Yo, I bet Patrick from SpongeBob got a fucking hog, dog.
Sure.
I bet Patrick.
What animated character? I probably all the cartoons I could think of were like
Kids.
like Tommy Pickles.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, no, you can't say that.
no, the
Homer
later ones
Simpson.
where he was like grown.
Homer Simpson obviously has a huge dick.
Yeah, how is he bagging Marge like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He just got a huge dumb dick.
Dude, Homer.
He's got a huge dumb dick.
Mhm.
Oh, who? Okay.
Homer bagged Marge. Homer bagged Marge. Also, Homer could bag Lois Griffin, but Peter couldn't bag Marge.
Yeah, we have a friend who gets really mad about the cross.
Wait, but if we're talking about like
Homer
porn,
has
porn,
Riz.
I think if you're looking at porn, who you gotta look at? Marge Simpson or Lois?
Marge.
Lois.
Marge.
Marge.
You ever see the Soldier Boy on Breakfast Club where he goes, Drake?
No.
Drake, you know what I'm talking about? That's
do.
what you guys did for Marge. If there's any young listeners who are on the internet, they will like that.
Our producer's
reference.
pulling up naked pictures of Marge. Okay, we're pulling up. No, it's just regular pictures.
Look at them right next to each other.
Okay, so for me, can I say what it is? Okay, first of all, is that Marge's sister or during her hippie eras where her hair is down?
Yo, you wanna?
Oh, they've been reversed.
Where her hair is
there.
down?
Yeah.
Where her hair is down, I'm into that. But curly hair to me, it's because I think it's my mama's curly hair.
Dude,
So it's like
Your
I
mom
know
does
I
not
would.
have hair like that, Gianmarco.
No one has hair
Your
like
mom
that.
doesn't have hair like a pickle.
I was hanging out.
Lois is hot.
I was hanging out with comedians one time, and like someone wanted to follow me, and I looked at what his For You page was, and on his For You page, he had a Simpsons sexy, no, Family Guy, but it was Family Guy sexy Instagram account. So I'm at a table, and I'm kind of like, hey yo, and joking around or whatever, and I'm looking at the account, and he's like, I don't know or whatever. And I'm looking through the account and I'm reading the comments on this like Family Guy, like horny Family Guy porn account.
Uh-huh.
And first off, there's comments. It's a picture of Lois Griffin naked, and there's guys like, I gotta fucking like let her know, which is hilarious. And one comment that I thought was so funny was someone commented, I wish this was real life. And I think that's
Oh my god.
Well, that's
I wish the cartoon.
Yeah, but then they make AI like realistic versions, and you're like, this is weird because
Yeah.
the dimensions don't make
It's never,
sense, and
it's
it
never
looks
quite
like
how
someone
we
who is.
imagine
Yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was an anime guy,
Yeah.
and like there was. This was before I like knew.
You're like an OG anime guy. Like
OG.
because
I knew the word hentai before it was part of the cultural
Are you
conversation.
seeing naked anime before naked real
dude,
people?
you were like a weird looking
pioneer.
You were like a weird looking kid in high school because and you're very handsome now, but there's pictures of you post and you have like dark hair and glasses, and I'm
No,
like,
I was going through like a goth, but not based off Hot Topic.
Yeah.
I tried to get red highlights that came out orange.
I look at you and I'm just like, for such like a conventionally like cute kid, like this kid was brooding, which I think is so funny.
Yeah. Though, can I tell you? I recently was looking at old pictures of me in high school, and I was like, oh, I wasn't an ugly. I must have been unbearable.
Yeah.
That's why.
No.
That's why I wasn't like. I always
Yeah.
viewed like, oh, I didn't have these girlfriends because I was like, I was ugly, and I look and I'm like, you're a good looking guy.
I was ugly.
Yeah.
I was ugly up until like I was a junior. Like I was I was
what
like
happened to you?
I grew a foot.
sure.
Oh, okay.
I grew a
But
foot.
not vertically.
No. Shrunk.
Vertical.
No, a hog. His
Yeah.
Oh.
Dick.
Cool.
Dick.
Okay, so
Dick.
who's Dick? Celebrity Dick?
What do you think about Brad Pitt? Just to see it?
No,
Not
he
now,
doesn't
no.
need it. He's good looking. But sure, like Brad
see
Pitt's
Drake?
like
Do you-
he comes right away and
do you
he's
see
selfish.
Drake's?
I did see Drake's.
Dude, you see how
No, I
Drake's?
didn't
Drake's was
Yeah.
like, if Drake wanted to get back at Kendrick, he just should have posted another one.
I saw Drake's. I thought my nudes got leaked for a second. I was like, whoa.
Wait,
Whoa,
was it
because he's
big or-
he's got a hog.
No, it was real pale and white. No, it was huge.
Oh, okay.
You ever see the one? I mean, this is horrible to say, but it was like Usher's legs. Usher has these little Kermit legs. This is pure body
Oh
shaming.
my god.
Yeah, but they're the hottest guys ever. So what do we?
But yeah, that's why it was funny with Usher because his legs were like,
Oh my God.
do you see Lenny?
Sir.
See Lenny Kravitz?
God damn. Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny
I
Kravitz.
saw that one where
my
he squats
God.
down.
Squat and
That
Yeah.
video was insane.
Yeah.
Soft.
What song was that?
I wanna get away. It was his penis wanting to get away. I wanna fly.
I mean, recently he said he's been celibate for 9 years, and he talks about all the strength that gives him. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, I always knew. I feel like in high school you knew who had a big, like, just flaccid penis because they'd always be like, "Yo, whip it out."
Yeah.
And I was never walking around like, "I'll whip it out." I was like,
Yeah.
"I'll keep it in.
Yeah.
I'll put on an extra pair of pants."
Yeah.
So who? Come on, be an answer.
I'm trying to think of a creative answer, not like
I
a-
know what the answer is, and you don't want to say it.
What?
How long have you guys been friends?
It's a
9 years.
9 years.
Okay.
It's a dick. Some people have seen maybe against their desires.
What?
Louis?
I don't want to see Louis C.K.'s
Yes, you do. I know you're like, what's
Yeah.
number two? What's number two? What's number two?
Guy who wants Louis to jack off in front of him so bad. And then when they find the news, he's like, so what the fuck is my deal? What's my problem? Oh, I'm ugly? I guess I'm an ugly piece of shit.
No, I do
They
think
go
it
to
would
Louis,
be
I'm
like.
locking the door.
I do
They,
think
they read the article and they're like crying because they're like, I've been trying.
I'm
for
trying to think
so
of like
long.
there's some actors where you're like, I don't know why this actor gets in a lot of things. I would be maybe curious in a couple of them of like, is that the answer of like they just have some weird confidence that's like propelling them forward in a career?
I
I
don't
can think
think-
of like 2 or 3 television actors that they appear in everything.
I don't think a big dick gives you that much confidence.
I don't know.
I couldn't even imagine.
Couldn't even.
I think so.
I
I think so. A certain kind.
couldn't even.
I think a certain kind, but like, I think
this is the best.
I think, it would be hard to quantify how much it reaches in all areas of your life. Like maybe,
Yeah.
I can't help it. I always think of the YouTube titles as like 3 comedians ponder what it would be like to have a big dick.
I mean, would it give you confidence?
I don't think I'd be a comedian.
What?
I really don't.
No, you could still be a comedian.
I think you could be. But I don't think it'd be as funny.
I don't think you want a big. Well, okay, so what's big? You want fucking 8-9 inches?
I certainly don't want like you'll see a porn where it's like they can't go all the way in.
They
Yeah.
can't-
They're like
if
on
they
the
get
other
hard,
side of the
they
room.
faint.
You don't want that.
I don't want that,
Here's
no.
what you want. You want boyfriend penis, which is perfectly sized penis that girls
Sure.
go, that's nice, because you don't want you go 8-9,
Yeah.
and I have to believe this.
I feel like I decided for myself, I was like, oh, my penis is fine because I knew people that would go through a breakup and if it was a bad breakup, the woman would go around and
Yes.
tell people like he
Yes.
has a little dick.
Yes.
That
And I
is
was
so
like,
nasty.
It's so
That's mean,
nasty.
yeah.
that
It's
is
so nasty.
That is so mean.
It's so nasty,
Yeah.
but I felt like
But
the
men
fact
say
that no
things-
one did
men
that
say
to me.
things
Yeah,
too.
men are like, her pussy smells like trash.
That is funny.
Everyone's
Guys,
saying nasty stuff.
yeah, we're saying
Yeah,
terrible things.
yeah.
I don't talk shit on
Yeah.
exes like that.
I mean, there's
So-
that great
Curb.
curb. Thing,
I think it's.
yeah.
I actually think it's
Yeah.
irresponsible. If
these big pussy women are getting away with murder. These big vagina women are getting away with murder because they're like they love doing this, and then but he's like, there's got to be as many big vaginas as there are little penises out there. It's a great bit.
yeah, unless your ex does you like super dirty, you shouldn't talk too much shit on them.
No,
Unless they do
that's
something like
shitty.
morally
No, even
bad.
then you're like you should focus on the like shitty like relationship stuff rather than any sort of
yeah, If
Unless
someone-
it's teeny tiny.
then
Then you gotta warn people.
yeah. You and your like best boy, like you and your homie have a falling out, and you're just like, yeah, his dick is small.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, and he's got a little tiny dick. Not even the guy anymore.
Well, let's go on to our next segment.
This has gotta stop.
This has got to stop. Did you get the email? I know it's last
I
minute.
got the email on the train. I read it 5
right.
minutes.
Do you have it? This has got to stop.
I do.
Okay. You I'll go first.
yeah.
Okay.
We'll just start paying. So my this guy stop. Tova has this guy stop that she wants to do. It's we do like spin classes together and like other classes, and they always do a thing where they're like they'll push it for the first 5 minutes, go hard, and then they go, you guys, that was just the warm up. And she's like, no, it wasn't.
yeah.
It was part of the workout. It's not insane after this.
Yeah.
So that's her. This has got to stop. My this has got to stop is like I have had some Ubers recently where they're either playing a full Trump rally or they're playing a full like church preacher like sermon
on the
And
road
you're
when
like,
you're doing the
and
road.
you're like, if I can't
yeah.
listen to the whole thing, don't give me
Yeah, like,
just
how
a
does it
portion.
end?
Yeah, and you're like,
circle the block. How many times can you go in a roundabout? And they're like 4, and I'm like, well, that's not enough.
Yeah.
That was a callback. God damn it. But it was like it's in LA. It's happened several times where someone plays
Trump rallies in LA?
Like they
makes
play it on the
sense.
radio, and I'm like, really? You picked it up at West Hollywood? That feels like a real gamble.
No,
here.
but Californians are fucking weird with their
Yeah,
politics.
there's weird stuff
California,
out
there's
there.
weird
It's a big
shit.
state.
Orange County is fucking backwards
Yeah.
bananas
Sure.
land over there,
Yeah.
dude.
That's where our producer lives, Paige
Yeah.
Asachika.
It is
Shout out, Paige.
weird. You'll see a weed flag and then a Trump flag in the same house, and you're like, what is?
A weed flag.
What's so hard?
We
It
don't
is-
need-
it's legal, dude.
We
You
don't need a
won.
weed flag.
What's
We don't
so-
need a Trump flag. I'm just saying, like,
That's the one that bothers you?
no, I'm
Honestly,
just saying, like,
the
all
weed
flags
bothers me
are
more.
weird. All flags are weird. I don't think, but like, if it's any more than a country, it's just big countries.
What do you?
You ever
can
see
you just
the-
tell me what you think is weird about the gay pride flag?
Oh, you got me. You got me.
Yeah.
That one's not weird, folks.
What do you
but-
think about the adding of the brown and the black over the
I
rainbow?
think that's amazing. I think.
Wait, what's the brown?
I don't like. Okay,
They added more
I don't like
colors,
when they
like if
add.
there's a-
I
I
don't
know, but what does the
like when
brown
they
and the
add
black
stripes.
represent?
What do the brown and the black represent?
You know, we all know what they mean.
What is
I don't
it?
like
I
when
don't
they
know.
add
We'll
stripes
look it up.
to
Oh,
the
the stripes.
to the
What
to
does
the
it
American
wait.
flag.
We'll look it up.
What is it? What does it represent?
Pink to represent. Okay, let's look it up. We should know this. 8. Our producer
okay.
is so
Let me just
disgusted,
say
he-
one
he
thing. Let me
closed
just
it
say one thing.
immediately.
I don't like when they add like
A red stripe.
firefighter
Or
or police, like they're changing the American flag just to add their own little thing.
Yeah.
And to be like, my thing matters too. Like it's like
Yeah.
grow up.
Well,
Like,
Sure,
like I'd love to add
sure.
an actor. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Shut
Well, the
up.
blue line started for Blue Lives Matter, which is bullshit, and firefighters copied the cops,
They did.
Okay, ready?
which
So
is weird.
Yeah.
For Quasar,
Brown and
the
black.
light blue, pink, and white stripes represent trans and non-binary individuals. So I think this is saying the rainbow is LGBTQIA2+.
Yeah.
Brown and black ones represent marginalized people of color communities.
So it's just black and brown people. Well, that's fun because
So that's the one where you say, we might as well put actor.
No, I was talking
Well, imagine-
exclusively
well, imagine-
about the American flag and firefighters and police.
Well, imagine a black
and then
guy-
weirdly like emergency. Sometimes it's like ambulance workers. You're like, wait, what? Like
You're
you're
like,
like,
yeah, you were included before.
Sure,
Yeah.
you were in the American flag.
but
Like,
there's got to be a black guy who finds out about it. He's like, I don't want to be on the gay flag. Like I'm not.
well, no, but I mean,
Like,
I
why
think
are you
it's
putting
still
me
like
on the
they're
flag
queer.
without
It's
my-
gay,
It'd be
queer.
funny if they put like his face on it, and he was like, "Oh no, I don't want to be on the flag."
You
This is my
wake,
whole face.
you wake up one
That's
day
not
and
how
it's,
it
and it's your face on every LGBTQ plus flag, and you're like,
You should make a flag where it's
You would
like
love
everyone, but it's like the American flag except firefighters.
and it's mad colors on that one, and then just one is
except firefighters.
yeah, except you guys, except my
two of them
neighbor,
were mean
except
to
my
me
neighbor
once.
Greg.
I think the thing with like Trump, and listen, I wouldn't want to hear a full Kamala. I wouldn't want to hear a full Tim Walz rally, but especially with Trump, I'm like, there's so much where I'm like, he's not saying anything.
No, it's
I don't know what you're
crazy.
getting. He's like, today he said, the Taylor Swift AI thing.
Yeah.
He used a picture of Taylor Swift that was AI, and it looks fake. It looks like a drawing. So who gives a shit? But he was like, I don't know, AI. I've talked perfectly on AI. People have said I've talked perfectly, and I'm like, but you're not even saying anything. Like I don't
Yeah.
even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're getting entertainment wise. I'd rather hear like a charismatic conservative radio host.
No,
say something.
he's being funny, and people.
But Trump's not even funny anymore.
Yeah, he's kind of fell
Every
off
once
a little
in a while
bit.
still.
Yeah,
Once in a while, but not
no,
a whole
but I
speech.
agree,
These
I
whole
agree.
speech, it's just like it's like a riff. It's like
yeah. Well,
And also,
you know,
yeah, obviously he's not
I'm not
funny.
great on
terrible.
podcasts all the way through, but you know, you get a couple moments.
sure.
He's live podcasting.
If Trump
did it-
came up there and said, "You know whose dick I like to see? You know what's huger than
Yeah,
China?"
that whole bit that we did, that was great. Everyone's gonna love that whole bit.
Whose dick do you want?
Every yeah, the
Whose
whole
dick do you wanna
whose dick
see?
do you want to see?
Hunter, I
bit
gotta
that
say,
we-
big, you want to talk about a big cock? Hunter's got a big.
Oh, for
really?
sure.
How do you know?
100%. Kids 6'10".
You're like those Bidens. They all got.
No,
Hunter's got
his dick leaked.
Are you looking at all the leaks?
Every conservative talked about the leaks.
Yeah, Hunter's
and they all mentioned how big his dick was when they're in their
Yeah.
talks.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They're like that was one thing they couldn't say.
I'm looking at this shit. I'm looking at it like it's the news. Like I'm like so, like someone's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm reading the news. I'm checking out Drake's penis." Like I'm busy.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? I'm like,
Like our producer, this computer's gonna blow up
Divide and laptop
from
controversy.
from things that we're googling on this podcast.
Yes,
episode.
his dick leak, but I wouldn't look at it because I don't look at it because you're not supposed to look at leak.
That's what I've been told, and so yeah.
yeah.
When the Fappening happened, my God, Russell called me. He was so
My
excited.
God.
Comedy Central's
My
This Is Not
God.
Fappening.
What's your? This is
So I
not a-
jacked off too hard one time, and I was high on weed.
That would be an amazing. You should, if they ever bring that show back, it's an old reference.
This is
But the
not
idea of a
fat.
show- This is
very
not
old.
happening.
This is
And
not
every story
happening.
starts. It's
Ari
a jerking
Shafir's-
off, or it's like
I
the
always-
weirdest porn. It's sometimes we all had a bit at some point of like some weird porn we saw. Dane
course.
Cook had one.
Yeah.
and it's like the and
Yeah.
that would be.
I've
fun.
never seen a weird porn. Only normal ones.
Yeah.
normal
Yeah,
to you.
I'm I'm actually googling one where everyone's having a good time, normal style,
porn.
normal style for me,
normal style
parentheses,
porn
parentheses
is what
for
I
me,
Google.
and for what I think is
normal
normal.
style porn.
if anyone starts crying, I'm out.
Yeah. Okay. My this guy's top is I think I can't remember. I don't know. I didn't do this yet. Okay. When people sometimes online, sometimes in real life, tell a story, and the whole thing is like they're basically like only me, and they're like
yeah.
that, and you're like,
Yeah.
because like no one's ever said that and said only me. And I've been like, yeah, you're a real piece of shit. You know,
Yeah.
like it's like just the most normal person, or like crazy things happen to everyone. It's not, doesn't make you special. Doesn't
Especially
make
if
you
they're like in New York
interesting.
and they like just moved to New York and they're like, and the subway was late and one guy was weird on the train.
Only me.
in my city of New York
Yeah.
and me.
It's like
in
you go
it.
to check
Yeah.
into a flight and like they do a little prank on you, like
Yeah.
they say it's overbooked, and you're like,
No,
I should
but,
tell
like-
this as a story to people.
No,
We
I
gotta
don't-
get this on the record
That's,
ASAP.
but that's a fun story. I think it's when
No, it is.
when they literally say only me,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like
Sure.
the can
Nah.
you
But
believe my
it's a cousin.
crazy kooky
It's a
life?
cousin to my life is a sitcom, and you're like,
Yes.
because there was a line at the
Only
grocery
me.
store.
Yeah. It's like the most normal thing. You're like,
My uncle, I shouldn't say that, but my uncle, I was like, as I was gonna like take it back, a guy who I'm related to, but it's not my dad. At like a Family Guy, he'd be like, "You gonna put this in your
Yeah,
stand up?"
fuck,
And I'm like,
dude.
"No, the racist thing you said in the car ride over. That's what I'm gonna put in my
Yeah,
stand
the
up.
thing you don't know
There
about.
being too many candied yams. No one gives a fuck about that.
Yeah.
well, now hold on.
What do you
Don't-
say?
Don't rule it out.
I say, I look people. I go, oh no. Like I'll tell friends if I go, they go, oh, at least you can use this for your act, and I go, no, I wouldn't do that.
See, I've not. done
You clearly, based on stories, you're more of a like honest person than both of us.
But
are.
I'm not even.
can-
I'm not trying to
can-
be mean. I just look at them. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Do
I'll
what?
sit with you.
Okay, ready?
Hey Russell, you gonna use this for one of your sketches?
Oh well, maybe we'll see. That's
That's way.
I get out my laptop. I go, let's start typing it up. Let's bang it out.
Let's bang this out.
Yeah.
My idea though is I say, yeah, come to my show. I want you to tell the story. Let's get you on stage.
My God,
Let's
that's
teach you a lesson.
psycho.
I'll be like, next up, my uncle. Tell
Yeah.
him about
Yeah.
the candied yam. See what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he just. That's mean.
That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
Of letting him feel that.
Well,
He
I don't know if
kills
this
and you're
is-
just like,
I don't know if this is
fuck.
related, but one time I was a student teacher for a while, and then I was a substitute teacher, and there's these kids that were really mean and bad, and their teacher, one thing that they assigned them was that they had to make a presentation and like do this whole thing for morning program. And so they had 2 weeks to work on it. And every morning they had 30 minutes to work on it. And every morning I'd say to them, you guys are going to have to perform, you're going to have to perform. And they would make jokes all class long. They'd be mean to me. And as every morning I told them, you're going to have to present this. You're going to have 5 minutes to present it in front of all morning program. And they never did anything in all those 30 minutes every day. So then finally the day came and I made these 5th grade boys go up and perform
Yeah.
and do it. And I wouldn't let them off the stage for 5 minutes.
Fuck
And
yeah.
they didn't have anything.
Yes.
And I
they're
made them And they tried to get off, and I go, no. And other teachers were like, they don't like, and I was like, no.
You're doing
and
something.
I was like, I timed 5 minutes because I kept saying it's gonna be 5 minutes. You're gonna have to perform. You're gonna have to do it,
dude. Yes.
And people were like shocked. They were like, it was controversial. Some people liked it, and other people were like, what's the fuck is this substitute doing?
I would kill to have you as a teacher.
But I
would pay tickets to see that as a live show.
Wait, for the first minute, there's 5 boys. They just each took turns passing the microphone to each other because they were like, and then they and then they and then it was like I was like, you have 4 more minutes, and I like timed the whole thing because I was like, I told you every day you were gonna have to do this, and everyone else in class had to do it.
Did any of them cry?
No, but they were really uncomfortable, and it was very deeply embarrassing.
I had a teacher who did that. She was like our creative music teacher in Catholic school. She was like this old hippie woman, and it like made me who I am. Like forcing, because I didn't do any theater. I did these like creative, like these creative performance classes when I was like a child, and because I didn't do any theater in high school, but it made me like funny.
Yeah,
and then I thought about it later, and then when I was like 18, I was like, oh, I got into like stand up.
I will say,
but that shit like that is good.
I will say the ringleader, I think took he liked that I pushed back a little because I remember was there a time where I had a lot of suits, so I'd wear like full suits to be a substitute. And that's really substitutes would not do that.
No,
substitutes like that's like the principal does.
Sure,
that.
Yeah.
And so he one time asked me, like, why do you wear like full suits? And I was like, okay, fuck you. I just was like, I like to look nice. Okay. Anyways, the last day of school, because I was like, their teacher had a heart attack. So I filled in for their teacher who had a heart attack for like the last 3 weeks of school. And the last day we went on a field trip, and it was like to like an outdoor like thing, like there's a beach and blah, blah, blah. And he showed up dressed in a full suit. The kid.
Fuck yeah.
And I was like,
so cute,
I was like, Devin,
wow.
I was like, we're going outside. And he's like, I just want to look nice. And I was like, okay, you got me. We started off really not liking each other, but
that is so cute.
Yeah.
I think there's something.
Maybe I should be a teacher. I don't know.
I definitely had some moments where teachers.
That's like warms my heart.
But I had a couple. I can remember some specific moments of like a teacher humiliating me because I had behaved poorly or I didn't work hard enough. And I think what's so hard is you get older, or you grow up with like status or whatever, and this is why because they're such shitty people. But I also think it happens to adults. You don't put yourself in a position where you're willing to let anyone talk to you like that, or to be shamed. You have the tools to get out of it, or be like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
And there's sometimes it's like you don't get that humbling ever.
Oh my God. I get embarrassed every night I do stand-up comedy.
Well, I think there's a degree.
I get embarrassed.
And then the comics who become terrible are the ones who they lose that feeling of like, oh, fuck, I bombed. That was, and they feel it.
Yeah.
It is like to put yourself out there as much as you do. Yeah. It's a good thing, I think. Yeah. It's like okay, I had this.
It was a piano. It was a musical theater camp, and this like piano teacher who at the time, like, you know, he had done Broadway, and so we were, and he was older, and he was like, he was smart, and he'd break down Sondheim, and you'd feel it was so cool, and he was gonna help coach me before class started that morning, and it was early, and I just showed up late, and I was like, I'm sorry, I slept in, or I had trouble shaving or whatever, and he said,
"You're shaving in high school?"
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
And so he was like, well, he yelled at me, and the class is starting to like file in.
Yeah.
And he's yelling at me in front of them as they're filing in, ignoring them being there completely. And then he's like, well, let's do the song. And it was like this very hard song from West Side Story, Something's Coming.
Yeah.
And it was too high for me, and it was early, I wasn't warmed up, and I'm just cracking and cracking in front of all my musical theater peers as he's like yelling, and he's like, no, you got it. You didn't breathe, so you're gonna crack. And like, I truly believe that it made me, I'm not saying I'm the most punctual, but in general, I'm not late to things. And I'm like, I think it was that moment that shifted my DNA in terms of, and there's a couple people I wish I could send back in time to experience what I felt.
That shit would make me cry because at least in sports, when you're getting yelled at, you're like, you're physically moving, so you can shut your brain off.
Yeah.
So because you just become a body, but that you have to increase increase how
I
your brain.
like that
To
though.
get back to
No,
that,
I'm just saying
though,
it. I'm just
it
saying
didn't
that's more
work for
difficult. I
me.
think
No, yeah.
that
It
would
doesn't
that would
do
make
that
me,
for me.
Yeah.
It turns me. It actually shuts me down.
Creatively-
like the
creatively-
yelling. The yelling
Yeah.
thing shuts me down. I
Shuts
think
me down,
maybe
too.
I'm more open in a creative way, but in like the sports way, I remember being like. And maybe it's just my connection to
yeah.
the thing. If I'm connected to like a creative thing but like when I was football, when they yelled at me,
Yeah.
and I've told this before to you, but like I had the coach who one time we were talking about our run times. He was so mean, and he was like, I was like, I did my mile today, and I think I said 9. It was 9 something, and he goes. Not my head coach. I liked my head coach. It was like one of the assistants. He was like, Russ, I took a shit in 9.5 minutes. And I was like, is that a
Alec
short
Baldwin
shit?
was your assistant.
Is that a
coach.
long shit? What does that mean, man? Like that
Doesn't
like,
matter.
Like, and
It
it was like
just sounds
his
good.
vibe would be like he'd like say mean things and like yell at you, and you're like, it does nothing. I actually want to work way less now because you.
I think that's impressive.
know.
You start a mile, and by the time you get back, he's just wrapping up the shit he started when you left. It's
Yeah.
like, damn, Speedy Gonzalez.
Can you you take more than 9.5 minute shits?
9's a while.
That's a long time.
That's a while.
A shit is.
I could take a shit. I'm a
shit's
quick
a
shitter.
shit's like 60 seconds, and then you go on your phone for 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what it's about.
Exactly. I don't barely any wipes. Unless it's like things are not going well.
All right, if you could see one celebrity take a shit in full, beginning to end, male.
Sydney. Oh.
No, not Sydney Sweeney. I don't want to see that.
Bro,
I don't
I want
wanna
to see
see-
Sydney Sweeney just blow up a fucking toilet, and then I get to go in after and go, ew.
Honestly, can I say something?
think we're
You
turning
know,
off a
when,
lot of
when AI, like
Viewers.
AI is obviously going to be used for porn, and
You
we're
say
going to have to
it-
do
you
it.
say it the way you're saying it is like
No, I know what you're going to say. This is what people do. You can't talk about anything honestly because then they go, "Well, you're just saying that because that's what you're going to use it for."
No.
Oh, what are you
No,
about to say?
I was gonna say. Well, yeah, kind of. I was gonna say that you were like the way you're saying it is less like we're worried about it, and more like when's this gonna happen?
No, I think every
When
Google,
am I gonna be able to get on there and just get whatever I
I
want?
think every Google lab where they show
Yeah.
like journalists or whatever, like the next ChatGPT level, they say search whatever you want, and they put in S, and they go, no, you can't search that one. New York Times reporter.
Yeah.
I think though, like with many things in life, you can't stop something from being made. What you can do is you can flood it with something that deters from it. So I say that
You can make
instead of-
something else.
So I'm saying like people are going to make Sydney Sweeney, fuck AI, whatever things. Here's what you do: you flood the market with Sydney Sweeney blowing up a toilet,
Yeah.
everywhere. You think you're downloading your
Yeah,
porn?
that's a good
It's them
idea.
shitting,
Yeah.
and eventually people go, I don't want to look it up because it kept ruining
Yeah.
celebrities for me. Seeing them
Or
take
you
a
just like
nasty dump.
schedule that like any sort of thing that you look up AI thing.
That's
it's
what
like,
they did with music. When I downloaded illegal music, what they did is they put up a bunch of not working files or
Yeah.
files that were just
Hold on,
like
I gotta-
like scratchy
let's-
on a chalkboard or whatever.
let's-
That's the solution.
let's really-
I figured it out.
Yeah.
Let's reel it back a little bit. You're just like, why are you taking this on yourself?
Well,
Hey,
someone needs to do it.
someone
It's hard.
needs to do
no
it.
one is preparing. No one is preparing for what's about to happen because
Why-
no one
why-
wants to be honest
why-
about what the internet is
But
used
I
for.
might-
You're
My-
like, what they're gonna do with the
I'm
porn is they're gonna do
wondering
this. And what we gotta do is we gotta come in here like this, and this is how we shut it down. And
yeah,
we
you want to wait till it's a problem. I want to get ahead of the
And
problem.
I'm like, dude, you need to work on your new hour. Like, you need to work. You're,
if I took this and
And
focused on
we've
global
already-
warming,
what's
it
gonna-
would not be a
It's
problem.
gonna be really hard though too, because when we have like full robots, we've already gotten huge fights about this. I'm gonna be like defending their rights. He's gonna be like,
why? What's your deal?
Because it's not their fault that we've created them.
They're not conscious.
Listen, I'm saying I agree with
Oh,
you now.
dude, I don't like that.
I agree with you now. Turn them off. Stop it from happening.
Defending
Turn
their
them off.
rights.
But when they're already gonna be real, they're gonna be real.
What do you mean
And it's gonna be
real?
Too late. Well,
They're gonna go, I'm real.
I'm real. I know. I feel.
And I'm gonna take out my gun and go.
Okay. See, now we're on opposite sides. I'm saying I agree that right now we can stop it. We should stop it, and I don't think we should be having them. But I'm saying they're going to turn into our slaves.
This
they're
needs to
gonna-
stop.
They're going to turn into our
Mine
slaves.
needs to stop.
No, but why you're defending? You're saying that we should keep making it so we can have them like that.
What did you? I think we need to program them all so they have to take a shit every once in a while, and that's when, if they're killer robots,
Guys, I'm just saying if you want robots, they're gonna
No,
have
first
the
off,
awareness.
nobody wants
But we're doing it. We're doing it already.
We're not doing it, and no one needs to worry about it.
They're
No
gonna
one
air this
wants.
footage.
No one wants AI. Nobody wants robots.
It's coming.
Listen, I agree with you.
People
Listen,
want a
I agree with
shitty-
you.
people
I
want a
agree
shi-
with you. We're on the same team. All I'm saying is that none of the things that we're saying, none of it's gonna happen. They're gonna keep developing it. We're gonna have slaves. They're gonna eventually fight for their rights. And I'm saying, if I'm alive, then I will say, yes, you have rights as robots. And
We're
I'm
not
sorry.
here-
That's when I'm going to be the conservative.
Okay.
I'm going to go,
Exactly.
They don't. They
exactly.
don't.
Oh, that's
All
all.
right,
I'm
that-
establishing this.
You're going to go back to the rainbow flag, be like, we got to get
I'll tell you what's gonna happen.
a Wally
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah.
That prediction sucks. I'll tell you what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen in your lifetime is just the phone's gonna get so fucking awesome, and that's it. The phone's just gonna be awesome.
I love that. I love to imagine that. And
There's
I
no
think
one,
that-
no thing's gonna be in your house. You're just gonna have a better,
I mean,
and
there's already
and it's
things.
still gonna be a
And
thing.
you always
that
say,
you
be
hold.
like, I should leave the house. And you're like, but I'm not.
And it's not
All-
gonna,
all
it's
I'm
not gonna
saying
be
is,
in your
it's
brain
gonna be-
either.
It's gonna be
3 hour
small
shifts.
things. First, it's gonna be at McDonald's instead of people in the building. It'll be like people doing that, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's just a thing.
And you're going to
It
be like,
does
what are they
that.
getting
Okay.
paid?
And no, I wouldn't do it then. But I'm saying it's a slippery slope. It's like one of those things where it starts and you're like, oh, it's just like a fast
What's the
food
point for you,
places.
though? Because this is the philosophical question. What's the point that you go, is that's a person?
There are therapists, and we're
that's
and
the
we're
moment?
talking to them, and you're like, and they're gonna. It's gonna be a crossover.
You're
from,
not gonna have a robot therapist.
listen.
He's not ever going to have a regular therapist.
Exactly. But listen, guys, just be on my level with this.
We'll see. We'll see.
Not in your lifetime. These are things you shouldn't even worry about because you're not even gonna. It's not even gonna happen to you. So you're wasting
think-
you're wasting worry and space.
Listen, I got my heart checked out the other day, and I'm doing great.
Yeah.
So I think
Are you? Yeah, that's great. Well,
I think it could be in our lifetime. It's moving fast now. They show those robot demonstrations.
Yeah.
They're using them some places.
Do you have this guy?
Sorry. I'm so sorry. We're keeping this. Oh my God, it's 6.
I know.
Oh God.
okay,
Sorry.
mine. How much time do we have?
No, go for it.
Okay, yeah.
Or we're at the end.
Yeah, then we have a blessing, and then we'll wrap it up. But don't.
Mine is just people say a thing that they do for a living, and it's not what they do for a living because their living is their parents. So they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I walk.
You're in your 20s.
I walk dogs," and you're in their huge apartment, and you're like, "Suck my fucking dick, you walk dogs."
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're lying. To just
So what should they say? How do you want them to phrase it?
I'm rich, man. It's whatever, and I go, "That's fucking awesome, dude."
Sure.
Yeah.
I think
I think it's hard. I think it's hard.
I have friends that they'll tell me like years into knowing them, they'll go, my parents actually bought my apartment, and I'm still friends with them.
Okay.
Why are you telling me you're a copywriter? What you don't copyright?
I do think it's weird because
You don't
you
do
just
shit.
know. You know.
I know. What do you
We
mean you're
all
a
know.
copywriter? I'm a copy. What do you? I'm a
But
copy.
I-
We're all
but-
copywriters. We're
But
all
the friends
freelance.
that I have that have money, it's not like a hidden thing. It's like we know.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I work. My business where I'm thrifting T-shirts and selling them online.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No,
Or it's
that's
like-
not what you do. That's not what you do. Money hits your account. That's what you don't.
Yeah.
You don't have a living, and they're
It's like my friend Lucas Zelnick. He says he's a stand-up comedian. He's a friend.
Do you think he'll hear that?
Maybe. I'll
He's
see
been
him
on the
tomorrow.
pod twice.
We're doing a college together tomorrow.
Yeah. A college.
Yeah. Teen Films
I
Opening.
like
me and Lucas Zelnick.
I like Lucas though, and I get along with Lucas because Lucas.
I mean, no one talks more about coming from money than
Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He talks about it.
Lucas goes, and I go, great. That's good.
Yeah.
He does. He talks about it.
You know,
He's
for
he's
sure.
honest about it. It's not like a.
For sure. I think I totally hear that. My parents like helped till I was 25.
Yeah.
Like they took care of the apartment. I think I was pretty upfront about it.
That's great.
I
Definitely.
said I act sometimes,
definitely-
but like they're paying.
I
Yeah.
knew.
Couldn't do
Yeah.
this.
It was you were honest.
yeah,
about
I
it.
was
Yeah.
never.
Yeah. Like,
Um,
like I'll be with people and they're like, oh, I have to, I got to go walk the dogs tomorrow for my job. And I go, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're walking
You're
the
like-
dogs
you're
to
like-
like.
You don't have to do
It's
anything.
cute. It's cute. You've given yourself.
Just tell your
something
dad
to
you did.
do
Just
that
tell your
day.
dad you did.
Yeah.
Tell him you showed up. to your shift, and
But
you have
I
a
think
shift.
Their sad thing is that I think some of those people like probably their parents are like
And I'm
make them prove like that they
and I'm
are
jealous
doing
is what it
something.
is. It
Yeah.
comes from a place of jealousy.
Sure, but you have to acknowledge just people that don't
Yeah.
want to acknowledge the privilege that they have and the thing that they can relate to someone else's experience. You have to admit, like, I can't relate to someone working a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I can't relate to someone who has to fucking stay and work at a bar till 3 in the
Well,
morning.
you work throughout the day. You have
To a degree,
Yeah.
People at least the nice thing with stand up is like they have an understanding of my profession from like the media,
the
so they
comedian.
understand.
The comedian's job now is a day job and then a night.
I think
it's
what's
actually
hard.
A,
I think
a
what's
big
hard
job.
with you is that you have an insane work ethic. I will say this:
Sure.
like you haven't had a ton of experience of like having to like kill yourself, like, and then also do the thing, but you kill yourself to like do it, and
Yeah.
you work harder than anyone I know.
Mm.
So it is that thing where you're like, that is like. Is clout for like not being
Sure.
But
like,
then you'll be
oh,
talking to their parents, and you're like, "Wait, what do your parents do?" And they're just like, "Oh, my dad like owns the jungle," and you're like, "Oh crap!"
my dad owns the jungle.
Like, wow.
But that's why also
Oh, you know the jungle? Yeah, we do water.
Yeah.
We do water.
Yeah, my father he invented oil.
Yeah, my father. Yeah,
I do remember talking to someone once, and hopefully she doesn't listen to this pod. But she was like, I was like, what is your dad do? Because it seemed like she had rich energy, and she was like, you know that the BP oil spill, and I was like, yeah, and she goes, yeah, my dad like fixed it, kinda,
Oopsie.
and kinda. I remember her being
Oopsies.
like, kinda,
I remember my dad was at home that night, and he said, "Oopsie."
and I was
Whoopsie
like,
daisy.
okay,
My dad
yeah.
texted a guy, take care of this, and then he got $5 billion.
Yeah. Make it look like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Let's go on to our final segment.
You better count your blessings.
You better count your blessings, something we're thankful for. I will start. I've talked a lot of shit about SoulCycle despite going on a regular basis. They won't let you take off your shirt there. And it's very sweaty, and I think it's misandrist. But I take a hair tie and I kind of scrunch it up like Britney Spears style. So I'm
That's
happy.
hot.
And my blessing is I went today, and there is a moment at the end where like you're doing the final push, and you all take the towel together and you go like, woo! And I feel like the sexiest woman in the world, just waving that towel with all my other gal pals, and
Yeah.
we're just like, we're riding that bike.
Are,
And it's a good feeling.
Are women and men hitting on you a lot?
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely
No?
not. Absolutely not. I certainly.
What do you think, Russell?
I think no. I've been around him. I don't think you put off an energy
I
that is. I don't think. No, I'm
Doing a
saying like,
podcast and
you're,
knowing-
you're,
I don't
you're
put
an
on an
attractive
approachable-
man, but you don't put on an approachable energy to like be like, oh, I'm gonna go up to him.
Yeah.
I think you're not. It's not like you're unfriendly, but I think that there's not like a thing. I wouldn't notice you.
No, I was in Australia. I haven't posted yet, but there was
You went like this. You went like he side-eyed you, but barely.
You got recognized when we were in the Spy Museum in Washington D.C. And you were nice. And
yeah, I put on a very immediate, just like, hi.
Oh my
But
god!
Let
Yeah,
me just say,
someone I was waiting tables on today recognized me, and I was like, I gave them free stuff.
so
Yeah.
'Cause I couldn't.
I did a show in Australia, and there was someone in the front row. I did some crowd work, and someone in the front row was a sex worker, and I guess sex work is like legal there. And it was very funny because she was in the front row. Everyone in the back was like desperately trying to see what she looked like.
Oh my god!
Like in this
Oh.
like this big space.
Yeah.
And
you
and,
did crowd work.
Yeah, I was doing crowd work, and at some point she was I said, oh, I'll tag, I'll promote whatever thing you want, and she's like, oh, I follow you, I'll message you on Instagram, and I was like, and my girlfriend's in the green room,
Yeah.
probably asleep. Usually she's sleeping through
yeah.
these shows, but I was just like, no.
No.
And then afterwards, and again, I think my girlfriend's family was at the show. But she came up to the show. She waited in line for the merch, and she gave me a long hug in a way where I was like, bitch, get out of
Yeah,
If
that's-
Tova sees this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's going to push you.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
And that was probably the only time anyone's ever hit on me.
It's really.
No,
I get it. I get it more then, and I'm like,
You're.
Again,
that
I
makes
think
sense.
there's something.
I look
there's
so weird.
there's
You
an
probably get a
energy
lot online. I would imagine.
from men.
My teeth
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
I look like such a weird cartoon.
I've
man.
even a couple weird downside people say weird things.
What if they said to you?
Not to me directly, but like the comments that are like,
Yeah.
ooh, I didn't know I needed to see that, and you're like, wait,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
You're like, wait,
What?
like,
Yeah.
just like a clip of like a dumb clip from the podcast,
Yeah.
But so I'm like, if I'm seeing those comments about me, you have to be getting.
There's gotta
What
be
if we do a
some.
test for the Patreon where like first we
hit,
join
just hit
join,
on them.
Join the Patreon.
Right? Join the Patreon and just unfiltered, just hit on Russell and Gianmarco.
What's so great?
I'm just saying in the
If
break,
I put on the Patreon and said, "Hey guys, join the Patreon. We're gonna post a picture of me and Russell showing hole," we would get at least
Gianmarco,
$10,000
I'm just basing it off
like
of,
this.
I'm just basing it off.
Easy, but
I'm basing off our follower count. I'm saying if I have received whatever I've received, you've had to have received a certain amount of
I'm
stuff.
just saying, for one
What do you
day,
think the ratio is?
for one day, you open the floor to
saying,
just you both
if
get
I have-
sexualized.
If I have
Patreon
under
members.
5,000 things, you have whatever you have, 300 something.
232.5
No,
I'm kidding.
Okay,
Yeah.
on Instagram, yeah.
to
So I'm-
1,000.
what? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
yeah.
you're both good looking guys,
But
and
I'm
you're
saying,
funny.
I'm saying, so you're getting you're getting weird
Yeah.
comments here and there.
Yeah, but I post about my girlfriend nonstop. I did a
true.
show with Jordan
your
Jensen.
hair, your hair is like crazy.
You're such a nice guy. You're
very
one of the
nice.
most
You're sweet.
complimentative.
Yeah,
You guys, my boys look great.
my boy.
My boys look. I don't know what you want me to
Our
do.
producers
I'm
are
sitting.
like,
I'm sitting across the couch from two handsome fucking guys. You want me to just shut? You want me to shut up about it? I'm not gonna.
Do you have a blessing?
Yeah, I'm going on vacation next week. I'm really excited. I'm just gonna be living off of fucking scallops.
Fire, dude.
That's the first one in your
And-
mind. Scallops.
I
A
love
scallop goes
scallops.
crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm gonna be in Cape Cod, so it's gonna be
Just
scallops.
a hot buttery
What's your
scallop.
what's your drink? What's your like?
Well, so we get a house.
Jim Gaffigan Scotch.
No, like we get a house and so my parents get the house and
Fire.
my brother and sister-in-law also pay for part of it and we don't pay for part of it.
And as you should.
But
I looked my
our-
mom dead in the eyes at dinner 2 weeks ago, and I was like, "You should just give me like $50,000."
But Nicole and my thing is that we bring the full bar for the week. So it's a lot. Like you're bringing like
Yeah.
probably close to $1,000 of like booze.
Yeah.
Are you getting the duty free stuff when you're flying back?
we get it in New Hampshire because we went to New Hampshire this last weekend.
So
So
you're going. You're going.
we went to New Hampshire last weekend.
Yeah.
We're going Saturday to
Fuck
Cape
yeah.
Cod for the week till through Labor Day. So
That rules.
they're excited for fucking seafood and sun and beach and family time.
Fantastic. Yeah. Do you have a blessing?
Yeah, I have a great group of friends in New York that I met through comedy, and it rocks. And it rocks doing stand up with them, like every night, because
That's very nice.
it's hard.
How long you been doing it with the group that you've been doing it with?
Since I moved here, so 4
years?
So well, fuck, dude, I actually started in New York like more like August 2021. That's when I started in New York.
3 years.
Yeah.
So I met and then it's a bunch of people around my age who moved around the same time or from New York, but just kind of started because I started young, so I'd been doing it for like 4 years in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And then pandemic and
No, I'm so jealous. Because I started here and I like started at that. We had coffee yesterday, 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
But it was like working at like a kind of janky club with some older comics, and like
Yeah.
I get so jealous of the
People with a
community
class.
with the class, and like
It feels like I have a class. That's what it is. It feels like I have a class
We don't
right
feel
now.
like we have a class because I think we started doing. You were doing stand up and I wasn't.
and we didn't do
And
UCB
we
early.
didn't do UCB early.
We did our own thing.
We did our own thing, and then we were doing UCB, but we'd already been like doing it, and like so we were all like I don't feel like
Yeah.
we have a class. We have like our sketch group.
Like,
I
I
think
just-
that makes you guys like special and unique and stand out. Because
in its own way, but it's still like lonely. It's just lonely.
It's
And
lonelier.
once you're on the road, like I did this fish festival with Jordan Jensen, and it's like, first of all, it was so rough. We'll try to avoid that in general.
Yeah.
But it was so nice. Like Jordan and I was on shrooms and we were stuck
Oh, you
at
did a
the
little
festival, and we did the last late show together.
Yeah.
And we talked. I mean, we talked more than we've ever talked outside of a podcast.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wish I had a longer phase of those kind of shit gigs.
Yeah.
Traveling.
I'm getting a lot of that right now. Like, and you know Mia Faith Hammond because she was around too.
Yeah.
But she was young. So me and Mia Faith Hammond are the same age. We talk every night, good or bad. And when it's bad, which it's like I did 3 shows last night and 2 of them are great, but I ended on a bar show with 6 people at like 11 p.m. And like you do what you can, you know. Like I just sat at their table is kind of the move to like not make it. Because why am I on a fucking stage? But it was like, yes, that's tough. And you feel, and I was on such a high, and I left that bar feeling weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but then I left the bar. I walked home with my buddy who also was on the show, and we walked home feeling weird together.
Yeah.
And we were like, you know, and if that was my only show that night, I would have felt so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the class that I feel like I have right now is it's a lot of fucking fun because it sucks so hard
Yeah.
to do fucking all these indie shows in Brooklyn. So you need the gang, you need the dogs.
I'm trying to open because when I do my headline shows, I like to do all this time. I want to work on all this stuff, and I usually don't have a ton of people doing guest spots. And I think now I've hit a point where I'm like, no, I'm going to be a lot more open to doing less time, to have more people on, so I can spend time with people.
Dude, totally.
Yeah.
I got to do
Spending
it.
time spending time with friends.
Spending time with friends.
Yeah.
And I real quick
comedy.
blessing is on my silver lining last night. Nick Mestad, who's my girlfriend's client, phenomenal sketch comedian. He did like a character set. And I desperately want Russell to do a character set. I want to just like, there's 2 spots on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want one of those spots to be a little different. I want a clown thing. I want a sketch thing. I want to reintegrate the not that I'm leading the charge, but on my show at least I want to have more.
Yeah.
I've been doing a character called Squidward Scalco, and it's if Sebastian was Squidward from SpongeBob.
Rolls off the tip of the tongue.
And so I work with this guy SpongeBob. Guy lives in a pineapple. Hey, what do you want me to do with your house? Eat it.
That's really good.
And you go for as long as you can until the audience is like, we've had enough.
I hope it's.
And that didn't do well at the bar show?
No, it does good does good. It doesn't do good at the club. Is when you're in Fargo, North Dakota. That's when you don't do.
You do 30 minutes of that.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys, SpongeBob and Patrick, always blowing bubbles outside my house. Hey, I'm trying to play the clarinet over here.
He really has that voice. He really has a voice, that guy.
Those things, stretching those things, the most fun.
I think I like it the most because it has no Squidward voice to it at all.
No,
it's
just
fully Sebastian Maniscalco if he
being
were
Squidward.
Squidward.
Yeah.
Squidward Scalco.
I'm very impressed by the name.
It's just Squirrel Sandy.
The way you can say it.
She lives in a bubble. Hey, get out of the ocean.
My
You don't
favorite,
belong.
Sebastian Maniscalco opening up the MTV Music Awards, and there's all these young kids there, and he comes out and smoke, and he goes, "Oh, is my mom making fucking peppers back there?" And the audience was like, "What the? How the fuck did you get this kid?"
He is so funny.
Yeah, I remember.
He just Jordan Jensen told me to watch his special because I think he was like when he does his doorbell bit originally. That was when I first came into stand up. I saw it.
The sword behind the couch.
And I was like, this is incredible. And then I think for me, it's when he was like, so I'm at the gym. I'm running on the treadmill. And I'm like, no, you're not running like that.
I'm running.
But Jordan,
on the treadmill.
His special, this one, he talks about going to dinner with his wife, and it's just like going through it. And he goes,
she can't get ready on time.
She can't, but it's about her not being ready for the order when the waiter comes. And she goes, you go first. And he's like, I'll have a steak and veggies. Boom, done. Back to you. How long did you think that was gonna take? You thought I was gonna walk him around? And when he gets in the pocket of like, how stupid is this dumb thing we do? It's really good.
It's fun. He's fun. His wife cannot get out of the house.
You just start fully doing his bit.
They got dinner reservations at 8. It's 7:30 and she's still putting on the shows. And I'm watching it with my brothers. We're blackout drunk and we're like, she gotta get ready.
Yeah.
She's taking too damn long.
This coming out September 10th. What do you want to plug, Tommy?
Check out my podcast, We Cool Podcast. I do it with my best friends that I started comedy with, and it's a podcast where we apologize for things, and listeners can write in apologies or demand apologies. It's an interactive podcast, and we read them, and it's fun, and it's stupid, and the whole dick size portion, that's mainly what... It's like if you're like, oh, that was pretty stupid for the downsize, I probably brought that energy in.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what
Are these the same guys you did the SpongeBob podcast with?
No, those are my two buddies. That's
Okay.
just a sketch. But
Yeah, watch Tommy's sketches. They're very good.
yeah, SpongeBob's funny, man.
What's the handle again?
At We Cool Podcast, and then check out my Instagram. It's Tommy Bear Time.
What do you want to
Or
plug?
my Instagram.
I got nothing to plug. At Russell J Daniels on Instagram.
We got a West Coast tour thing we're announcing
But
soon.
when are
We're
we
just
announcing
locking
it?
it in.
Yeah,
We just
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
wait till it's locked in. I'm gonna be at Appleton, Wisconsin this week, September 12th through the 14th.
Yeah.
Burlington, Vermont, the weekend after that, September 19th through the 21st, and then Vancouver, September 27th, 28th.
We have an Uncle Function show.
We have an Uncle Function show.
Yes, so we have an Uncle Function show this Sunday, September 15th at UCB for their opening weekend, 8:30 p.m. on a Sunday night. UCB.
And remember to join the
New York
Patreon, patreon.com/downside. We're going to be releasing highlights from our first East Coast tour, bonus episodes, 2 Patreon episodes. And also, by the way, I think we're going to, because we have more Patreons, you can write more things in that we can talk about. Maybe we even do some voicemail. People can send in a little voicemail. We can
And also
talk
hit
about
on
that.
Russell and Gianmarco.
Hit us.
Yeah, send us things just to make us feel like we're doing okay.
Sexualize them,
You know?
say nasty things.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll show a hole.
Yeah.
Who
Maybe
knows?
we'll show a hole.
Yeah.
And follow us on TikTok, The Downside Pod, and Instagram, The Downside Pod. And just remember, if you're wondering how big a guy's dick is, one thing you know for sure, it's not that big if they're hosting a podcast. This is The Downside.
God.
1, 2, 3.
Good.
You're listening to The Downside
The Downside.
with Gianmarco Soresi.